Okay. Let's okay, so I'm going to learn data. Okay. You are the data. No, no, Sometimes it's okay. Inside the yoga, eat more. In 1990. Okay. So this is from the from my cat. Yeah, so it's first one at the end, and it's after people read it. Must be speechless. Given the
is DL model. So whenever we talk about deep learning models, remember one thing: we always divide it into two parts. Okay, either it can be discriminative or it can be generative. Okay, let me tell you what is discriminative. So discriminative task is something where you perform the classification, you perform the prediction, okay, with the data set, which is the labeled data, like a supervised machine learning, right? So you do that. And then you have a generative models. Okay, so in the generative AI, we talk about the new content generation, totally new content generation. Okay, so where it fits, generative AI, where it is going to fit. Okay, so we have AI, then we have ML, then we have Gen AI, and then, sorry, DL, and then we have Gen AI, which is a subset of DL. Okay, so Azure AI. Okay, now where is the Azure AI, right? So now we have Azure AI, okay, which provides both of these model functionality. So in Azure AI, you will get all the discriminative tasks which you can perform, as well as they have added this generative also. Okay, so I hope now the difference, or like where it exactly lie, okay, generative AI in this diagram, I hope you people got it.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much,
Can
and
you
brilliant
write
work.
it?
Yeah, no, I'll cover that and to wrap it up. So bigger umbrella,
Yeah.
as you see in the diagram, AI is the top level. Subset of that is machine learning. Subset that of is deep learning. And within a special case in deep learning is generative AI. That's the whole point. Maybe you can worth showing into the worth showing in the diagram as well. There are a lot of questions are coming out to pick one about is like, or maybe what you can do is, because of the time, we want to cover as much as we can. So, and you can cover a lot of these questions towards end. Amir is saying, how much coding do we need to skill to develop? Now, again, Amir, a lot of these, as I said, a lot of companies are focusing on no code, low code, which means you pretty much, especially with generative AI, a lot of these things are no code, low code, and you can work without a lot of time without coding as well. That's the whole point of our objective is, if you know coding, that will be helpful. If you can build and integrate and develop your own applications. Otherwise, you can leverage in another way, which I'll be talking about, Amir, as well. Over to you. Um, Over to you, Varsha. Over to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is all about the basic of AI, ML, DL, and generative AI. Before starting, your AI journey or any of the cloud, this is the basic thing which you should know. Okay, and then after learning this basic, you start your cloud journey. And let me share my screen, PPT. Just a second.
Okay, while you're changing the screen, Sri Prasad is saying how much Azure knowledge we need to know to learn AI on Azure. So I think Sri Prasad, if you have a basic knowledge, that would also do. And in fact, I'm going to talk about towards and is what all things you should be knowing. We're going to if let's say as I said at the start, we if you're going to go deeper and work with us, we'll tell you about that's all covered. But as long as you have a basic idea about what is subscription, what is account, and basic things, you should be able to pick up very, very quickly, Shri Prashad. You don't need to be a guru, and very basic of Azure knowledge should be fine. Thanks, Tawfiq. Over to you, Varsha.
Yeah. So now we have learned what is AI, ML, DL, and Gen AI. Okay. So this is like, bookish language. So let's not concentrate on this. You people can read it. Okay. Online, you will get all these material. Now, the next thing here is the Azure AI service, right? So Azure AI service, what exactly is Azure AI service? We are going to learn here. Okay. And in the different courses, what exactly it is going to offer you. So we'll see this one by one. Okay, so Azure AI service, whenever I say Azure AI service, it basically, help the developers and organizations to quickly build smart, modern, and ready-to-use applications. Okay, so they offer ready-made and customizable tools and models to make this easy. So no need to worry that, okay, I do not have coding background. Okay, so no need to worry about it. If you can read the Python code, okay, I'm not telling about, okay, you should know the entire thing, but basic minimum thing is you should be able to read the Python code, okay, like what exactly the Python code is doing or C# is doing, then you are ready to go with Azure AI services. Okay, so it's a very low code, or as Atul mentioned, it's a no code, okay, service. It's just the drag and drop. You need to understand the concept, what is the input, what output you are expecting, and then you can, pick the service. So I'll just tell you, okay, which service you can pick, okay, according to your problem statement or whatever be the input you have. Okay, so we will see that. Now here, Azure AI service. So whenever I say Azure AI service and DL, deep learning also, I told you, right? We mimic the human brain. Okay. So Azure AI service, when they have, started this in the mind, like want to build human capabilities. Okay, just remember this one line, and then you can relate each and everything, whatever is there in this Azure AI service umbrella. Okay, so Azure AI service offer like human-like capabilities. And when I say human-like capabilities, it's something like the first thing which we have, okay, our eyes. Okay, our eyes, like we have our visual perception. Okay, and then the second thing which we have is something is like we can speak. Okay, we can read, right? So it's like something like a speech, and I can write like a language. Okay, and we can contribute to decision making also. Okay, so all these are like the human like capabilities. Now Azure AI services has provided, like the services for all these, the individual services, independent services, to implement all these human like capabilities. So the first thing here which we have is the language service. Okay, so just remember one thing: Azure AI services are the cloud based service that going to encapsulate AI capabilities or AI human capabilities rather than a single product. Okay, you should think of Azure AI service as a set of individual services that you can use as building blocks to compose, sophisticated, or you can say intelligent applications. Okay, so Azure AI services is going to offer you wide range of pre-built what you can say services. Okay, or you can just pick, okay, whatever you want. Right now, what is a language? Okay, so whenever I say a language service, the first service, okay, is the language service. So before language service, I hope you people know about natural language processing. Okay, so in the natural language processing, we talk about, again, it's a branch of AI only. Okay, natural language processing is a branch of AI that basically deals with the interaction between computer and the human language. Okay, so basically it is going to enable machines to understand, interpret, and generate human language, right? So NLP. So we are going to explore the NLP component in this language service here. So the language service provides you the NLP feature that you can understand and analyze the text. Okay, so whenever you talk about the text, okay, okay, you can use the language service. Okay, it can be handwritten text or it can be printed text. It can be any kind of text. Now, in the text analysis, you can understand and process text by providing features like you can do sentiment analysis, like the positive, negative, or the neutral sentiment. You can extract the key phrases, you can detect the language, okay, or you can perform the PII detection. All these things you can do here. And then comes the question and answering. So in the question and answering service, it basically helps you to create, question answer system where you can build a chat bot. And let me tell you, they have removed this service, Azure bot. Okay, so Azure bot is not there now. Okay, instead of that, what we have here, the question answering. Okay, so question answering service is help you to create a question answer system. Okay, like a chat bot or the support tool. Then we have language understanding. Okay, so you can build an application that can understand and interpret the human language. Okay, what is the intent behind it? Okay, so the intention you will get here in the language understanding. Then comes the translation, where you can translate the text between different languages. Then comes the second service, which is the speech. Okay, so speech recognition service is basically where you convert the spoken words into text, and then text to spoken word, the synthesis part. Then comes the translation part. Okay, translation, you'll just convert it into one language to other language. Okay, and then comes the recognition. Okay, you can recognize the person who is speaking based on their voice. Okay, this is also there, so you can decide like what kind of language or speech you are using, and you can choose the service. Then comes the vision part, like the visual perception. So we human have that we have biological eyes, right? But computer is not having that biological eyes, right? So how computer is going to process the image, right? So maybe you people have heard in digital image processing how the image is made of pixels, and then we work upon those pixels, right? So the similar way here, they have already created, used so many algorithms using DL, like they have merged so many algorithms, and they have given you this computer vision studio, okay, or computer vision service. So it will make easy to extract the useful information which is present in the visual content. So that visual content can be a kind of an image or a kind of a video. So you can perform the image and video analysis. Okay, like you can recognize the objects, you can describe the scene, you can detect the faces, you can read the text. There are so many things, okay, which you can do. Then comes image classification and object detection. So image classification basically sort the images into categories based on their content, okay, which category it belongs to. Then comes object detection, okay, that finds and identifies the specific location. Okay, so in the classification, I just want to categorize the object. Here I'm going to provide the location as well along with the classification. So this is the basic difference between these two. Okay, and then comes the optical character recognition, OCR. Okay, so you can extract the text from the image and the document using this facility. Okay, and the first the last thing here which we have is the generative AI. So you can generate the text completion and image generation. So we will talk about this in detail in the upcoming slide. So I'm not focusing here now on the generative AI part. Now, Azure AI services, there are total 6 modules. Okay, if you are opting this course, there are total 6 modules which you need to learn. Okay, so I have mentioned here, see here, the first one is the language, second one is the vision, okay, and the third one is the open AI, means the generative AI. Then comes the Azure AI search, okay, it's like a knowledge mining part. And then the fifth one is the document intelligence, like a form recognizer. Okay, so previously we used to call this service as a form recognizer. Now they have changed this to Azure AI document intelligence. So all these things are there as an Azure AI service. So Azure AI portfolio, you can see Azure AI service.
Sorry to Varsha, can you go back onto the previous one before we jump on to?
Yes.
Guys, is it making sense? Because I always tend to, because I want to bring everyone. Can you go back to the previous or the diagram? Okay, is it all making sense? So like basically language, speech, vision. Generative is the part that a lot of guys that came here initially for as well. Is it all making sense, or is it going over the board, or is it too much? And any questions come. Okay, so that's good, Tina. You should be again promise we made was you're going to ask questions. You're not asking question. So ask question, please. Don't worry about it. Okay. Don't wait for someone to ask. My team have already answered the question. Okay. Yes, it's good. Thank you. Yes, it's okay. Making sense. This is the process. Yes, Preston. So we're going to learn again. Some things might be going over the head. That's totally fine. That happens when you look. But this is the thing that you need to be learning. Fatima, thank you very much. Thanks for understanding. Thank you for clarity. Brilliant work, Varsha. Let's carry on. Over to you.
Yeah. So here, what we have is the Azure AI portfolio. Okay. So as an Azure AI engineer, if you want to learn from scratch, what all the things you can learn, you can see in this diagram. Okay. So let me tell you one by one, what are all the things which we have here. Okay. So this part I have already covered in the Azure AI services. We have computer vision, like a visual part, okay? Then the natural language processing, language and speech, and the conversational AI. Obviously, it is coming under NLP as a module where you talk about question answer and Azure bot service. So they have removed this service, okay? So no need to worry. Instead of that, we are just using Q&A maker, okay? So all these things we cover in Azure AI 102. Okay, so if you are planning to write this exam, you need to cover all things for Azure AI 102. Now comes two different parts, which is machine learning and anomaly detection. Okay, so let me tell you. So whenever you detect unusual patterns or outliers in your data, you can call it as, okay, it's anomaly detection which you are doing. So it helps you to spot unexpected changes or behavior, right? And which can be useful for detecting issue, and you can use here knowledge mining as well. Okay, the search also which you can apply here. Okay, and service also you can use. Okay, and then comes, this is something which you will learn in DP 100, okay, which is the data scientist course. Okay, data scientist, associate data scientist course. Okay, so you learn about machine learning here. Okay, so machine learning is a service that helps you to build, train, and deploy machine learning models. So here we talk more about machine learning part. Okay, and here we talk about what kind of input data you have, which kind of service you are going to use, what kind of output you are going to get. Okay, so we'll do this here. But here in this case, when we talk about machine learning, we talk about, you are going to build, train, and deploy your machine learning model. So you will get more control on it. Okay, when you are doing this, you are having less control on it. Okay, because people have already coded, people have already done everything on behalf of you. You are just choosing the service and applying it. Okay, so then in this, what we have automated machine learning. So automated machine learning, basically Azure simplifies the process, of building machine learning models. It automatically selects the best algorithms and setting for your data, train the model. See, if you don't know anything about ML, you can go with this. Okay, so the Azure will do it on your behalf. Okay, and it can evaluate the performance also. It can tune the performance. Okay, so it do everything on your behalf. Then comes Azure Machine Learning Designer. Okay, so it's like a drag and drop tool. Okay, that lets you build and train machine learning model visually. So all the visualization will come under this machine learning designer. Then comes data compute and management. So in the data management, how you are going to organize, store, and prepare your data set. As when I have started this session, I told you ML is the statistical tool, right? So a statistical tool. When I'm saying it is a statistical tool, it basically relies on the data. So data is very, very important for ML. Okay, so we do not have time to discuss all these things. I'm just skipping it. Okay, so it's a very interesting topic. Why it is, depending on data and how data is, gold. Okay, so data is a gold nowadays. Okay, or the fuel. We always say that, right? So now we have the pipeline. Okay, the last thing is the pipeline. Okay, so in the pipeline, in the Azure machine learning pipeline, it's a way to automate, or streamline your machine learning workflow. Okay, so they help you to organize and execute a series of steps like a data preparation, model training, okay, and like the deployment, everything you will get in the pipeline. I hope it is
Okay.
clear up till this
No, I think that
slide,
makes sense
right?
as well. Like if you can go back to the previous slide, yeah, I think this is perfect sense. And I want to take this
Yeah.
opportunity because we have a lot to cover. I was thinking maybe I've overdone it. So I was thinking is let's focus on AI part
Yeah.
because a lot of guys were doing AI
Yeah.
and let's park the machine learning part.
Yes.
What do you think, guys? Do you want to focus on AI and go a little bit more, or go on AI and machine learning as well. Put the chat window, say AI or machine learning or both. ML, type AI if you have to focus on AI. If you have to go on ML, type ML. If you have to go for both AI ML, then I'll go because I wanted to do some generative AI as well. Okay, both. Okay, so sorry guys. I might have to do for both. I would love to do that. And how about we bring her back and we'll do a both. I would love, I want to focus on generative AI. Okay, so there's a lot of demand for both. Okay, I hear you out. So what I will do is I'll cover a high level to begin with. And as I said, is I want to go a little bit deeper. And I think her teaching is brilliant. And so I thought I could squeeze, and she was telling me, no, keep them separate. And I mixed. So what I'll do is let's focus on AI and generative AI. I'll give a very brief overview the way I go very fast. I'll cover machine learning, and I'm going to bring her back on machine learning in future if I see enough demand, enough feedback, enough good reviews. How would we do that? Because as that is other things as I want to cover, especially the two parts as well. Yes, absolutely, we'll do that. Okay, yes, she is good, Raghav. Thank you very much. Thanks, Tina, generative AI. Okay, yes. Okay, let's continue with on what you're doing. Maybe focus on generative AI, and leave the machine learning part
Okay.
to me, and I'll cover that
Okay.
part, and then we'll go deeper into later part. Okay, over to you. Yeah.
Yes. So let me cover AI 102 and generative AI for now.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Now here, let's say if you want to learn AI 102, okay, let me tell you. People are interested in the certification, okay, AI 102. So before AI 102, if you are very new to Azure AI, okay, if you are very new to Azure AI, you can pick this course, which is AI 900. Okay, so it's a beginner level course, and certification is also there here. Okay, so either you can choose this, which is the beginner level course, or you can choose this, which is the advanced or the associate level course. Now, let me tell you what is the difference, what you are going to learn here. Now, whenever we talk about this AI 900, okay, AI 900 will cover all the things, okay, like Azure AI services. Whatever we have discussed, it is going to cover all the things, okay, but not in detail, no customization, nothing you will learn, okay, like just the beginner level course which you will learn here. Is this clear? Like just the basic part. But when you talk about AI 102, right? AI 102 is the associate level course. Then what's the difference? So when we talk about AI 102, here I'm going to, check each and everything in detail. Okay, so AI 900, it's just the basic where it will tell you, just get the familiarity with Azure AI, okay, how it looks like, everything. Okay, so you will get here. But when you consider AI 102 learning path, okay, so it's like at the professional level, okay, who want to deepen their knowledge, okay,
Okay,
of
let me, sorry,
designing
Versa,
and
sorry to let me
implementing.
explain it in simple
Yeah.
terms. Okay, a lot of guys know a
Please.
relationship and dating. So
Yeah,
let's suppose,
please.
okay, so when you first time go and meet a girl and say hi, hello, that's AI 9, and that's it pretty much. And you said, okay, you just say hi, hello, name, and ask. That's pretty much. And you go but once you fix a date, you sit down, you go and understand deeper with a girl or a boy, and that's when you can have a better connection. You go deeper, and that's a person much better. That's what is AI 102 in my definition. And if you really want to go for a job, if you just want to know something and not bothered about job or anything, or maybe go next level, then go for AI 900. But I think if you really want a real benefit, real result, a real progress, real growth, then I think you should go for AI 102. And when you do AI 102, AI 900 becomes very simple. Automatically, 100% confident you'll be able to clear the AI 900. The challenge what people do is they spend lots and lots of time. In fact, I've seen months and months people spending on AI 900, whereas you should not be spending more than a day max or 2 days. You should be able to clear AI 900. But because they spend a lot of time and waste and start realizing it's difficult. So always go for AI 102. And when you do AI 102, when you're doing hands-on lab, AI 900 becomes super duper easy, and within probably a day or so max, you should be able to clear the AI 900 as well. That's pretty much. Thanks, Preston. Thank you very much. Okay, over to you. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Raghav.
Thanks,
over to you,
Atul. To make it very clear by giving, very simple example. Okay, so just saying hi to the girl, you can just, ask her name and get the more than introduction, right? So we can begin with AI 102, right? So automatically you will cover this AI 900, right? Now, this is just the learning path. As I already told you, I'm not again going to tell all these things. Total modules are 6. Okay, and all are depending on the human-like capabilities. That's it. You just need to remember that. Okay, so total module, which the AI 102 is having is 6, right? Now, Azure Gen AI. What is Gen AI? So this is again generative AI tool. Okay, we use on daily basis. Okay, very popular tool is ChatGPT. We all know this tool. Okay, it's having the potential to change, how a range of jobs across multiple industries are performed. Okay, while the full scope of, the impact and the potential risk are still unknown. Okay, so always we have to see before, I start always this Gen AI with the responsible AI. Okay, so you have to
In fact,
go
there are a
through
lot
the,
of In fact, there are a lot of jobs on responsible AI. There is a ethics committees who are part of, and
yes.
people who expect you to be a like. There are a lot of job opportunities just in being a part of responsible AI. Someone who's looking after in the companies. Are you managing and implementing responsible AIs or AIs responsibly? And every project has to go through them. They need to approve how you're managing, how you're doing. A lot of things. Over to you, Varsha. Sorry, I get very, very excited, and I get pumped up on these topics. I'm sorry for interrupting these, and I'll try to stay shut. Over to you.
Yeah, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, no,
The
no.
only thing is
It's
about
correct.
time. So I want to cover is
Yeah.
move a little bit quicker, but that's totally fine. I think you're going fine. It's okay. Over to you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Then we have, let's say what is generative AI, from where it is coming from. Okay. So the basic thing, generative AI model, which we have learned somewhere, it's the subset of DL. Okay. So we have deep learning, and inside that we have generative AI. So generative AI models, okay, are the subset of deep learning models that can produce totally entirely new content. Okay, the classical machine learning algorithms or the classical AI, we always train our model on the labeled data. Okay, like supervised algorithm, like unsupervised algorithm, we talk about reinforcement. Okay, so we talk about all these things in the classical way. Now we have this generative AI, which can produce the new content based on what is provided, okay, or whatever you have described in the input. Okay, this is the one thing which you should know. This is the one thing. Okay, the second thing here in this diagram is the open AI. Everyone is writing in the chat, okay, I want to learn open AI. So what is open AI? So open AI is a company. Okay, so it's not a model, it's not a tool, it's not a technique. Okay, open AI is the company name. Okay, founded in 2015. Okay, and focused on AI research and development. Okay, so it's for AI research and development. The open AI models, you can say it's a collection of generative AI models that can produce language, that can produce image, that can produce code. And language, image, code, all are new content. Okay, so it's something related to this basic terminology, which is the new one. So Microsoft, now from where this OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, now we talk about Azure OpenAI. Okay, this is only the service which you can see in the portal, right? Which is Azure OpenAI. So from where it is coming? So Microsoft has partnered with OpenAI to deliver on three main goals. Okay, there were three main goals why they have partnered it. First one is to utilize the Azure infrastructure. Okay, including security, okay, including regional availability to help user build, enterprise grade AI applications. And then comes the second goal, which is like deploy. First one is Azure infrastructure. Okay, second one is you are just utilizing it. Then how you are going to deploy OpenAI, right? You need to deploy AI model. Okay, so you need to use the capabilities of the Microsoft product, including, beyond Azure AI products as well, right? And the third goal was to use the Azure to power up all the OpenAI workloads. Okay, so these are the main goals why these two companies have partnered. And then we are calling it as together as Azure Open AI. Okay, so Azure Open AI is a new cognitive service or the Azure AI service. Okay, again, it is going to provide you REST interface and SDK also. Okay, so REST and SDK, you will learn in the class when you learn the coding, right? Okay, so I'm not covering all these API for now. Okay, so it's like API access to your OpenAI powerful language model, whatever you are going to build. Okay, so there are three foundation model or AI model here. Okay, to generate the natural language, to generate an image, and to generate a code. Okay, so we'll see this thing. Before that, let me tell you this. What is this written here? At the right hand side. So vision, speech, language, this is an open AI service. All these are the Azure AI services. That's it. Okay. So we have already covered it. Now, generative AI foundational models offered by OpenAI. So I already told you this thing. I'll tell you one interesting part here. Okay. So OpenAI, as I already told you, it's a company, okay, founded in 2015 who is working on Azure AI. Okay, sorry, AI research and development. So OpenAI in 2018, it has written a paper, okay, on GPT. Okay, GPT, Chat GPT. Okay, so I'm not talking about Chat GPT now. I'm just talking about GPT. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-Training. Okay, so which introduces the concept of GPT, okay, in 2018 for the very first time. Okay, so how a generative language model can acquire knowledge and process dependencies, okay, using unsupervised learning. Everything has written in this paper. And now in 2019, what they have done, they have written another paper, okay, and they have released GPT-2 version. Okay, so OpenAI only has done it. Okay, in 2020, okay, they have released GPT-3. So this GPT-3 is an extension of GPT-2. Okay, and the main difference between these two, okay, is the number of parameters used in the model. Okay, so GPT-2 has been trained on 1.5 billion parameters. Okay, so these many parameters they have used. That's the reason, it is generating the new content. Whatever you are asking, it is able to do. And GPT-3, okay, 175 billion parameters. Okay, so this is the basic difference. In 2022, we got ChatGPT. Okay, so it's a tool that uses GPT models again. Okay, so GPT from where it is coming? It is coming from 2018, given by OpenAI. In 2022, OpenAI releases this Chat GPT. Okay, and now I'm not going into depth here. And then in 2023, we have this GPT-4. Again, this GPT-4 is the paid subscription, which allow the user to access GPT-4 tool, right? So again, it's all about the parameters. Okay, so here it has used 100 trillion parameters. Okay, so this is the difference between all these things. So today, one of the most well-known example of generative AI is GPT-3, and Azure also use it.
Okay, and just
Okay,
to
to
let you know,
understand.
just to add
Yeah.
to that point, when we go
Yeah.
into generative AI program, which we'll be talking and start, and let's focus on that. And because we have a lot to cover, and let's move quickly on this part, is about that's how to use these models. So there are foundation models. GPT is built using ChatGPT is using that one of those models. So how do you leverage these models? DALL-E, a lot of other models, foundation models. What exactly is a foundation model? What is LLMs? What is LangChain? What is these things? These are things we are going to go deeper into. I'm just giving a high level overview. Also, as she mentioned, this OpenAI has a 60% stake by Microsoft. So they have a big collaboration, and they're leveraging some of those services or that relationship. Let's move on quickly on to that point. As I said, we are running short on time. Over to you.
Yeah. So next is Codex. Okay, so in the Codex, it's like the model that
No, can we move on to
powers
the next one?
GitHub.
Sorry, can we move on to the next slide? Because
Yeah.
as I said, we'll move on because this is I want to show them, just give a glimpse of,
Yeah.
and let's move on, please. Yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah. So I'll just show them like how it looks
Okay,
like
so guys,
instead of
how many
just
of you guys
reading
have
the slide.
how many of you guys have seen the Azure portal, or this is the first time? Just put in the Azure portal new. This is Azure portal. Okay, this is what you see is a Azure Open Studio, which is one of the studios from a portal new. Okay, so let's go on all these used. Okay, some of you guys are new, so go back to, can you go to the first screen, and you'll be learning how to go and learn. So if you go, so this is a whole Azure portal look like. So this is where you have you'll be building all the networks, every related services, and within that there is a service called open AI service or Azure AI service, which you see here, this one, Azure AI. There's something called as we create and deploy services, and these are all AI services. Again, I'm just giving a high level, but this is what you go to learning and doing. Within that, there's something called as OpenAI Studio. That's what it is. So once you create an OpenAI service, how to do it, you'll be learning all this in detail, step by step. These are things you should be learning. Then you go and open OpenAI Studio. Because of the time, we've already created one service and we opened it. You can do as well. In fact, if you see here now the screenshot, there are two of them already there being done. Okay, and now within that we've opened it. This is called a studio, and this is where you'll be playing a lot of those things which we were discussing. So earlier we were doing theory, now it's practical. This is where you go and look at left hand side, you see chat playground. There's a completion playground. We'll because of the time, I'm not going to cover all of them, but you have a Delhi, which is an image, and that can build images for you. And then you can bring
yes, you can say anything, Atul, and I can write here so that
let's see
let
someone asking, put the chat window, what do you want to create?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm scared of this. Someone, what do you want? What kind of image you want? So my daughter loves cat, so maybe build something on about cat. My daughter loves cat, something. Crocodile. Oh, okay. Scary. Rose. So okay, just whatever it comes to your mind. Fatima saying rose. Let's prepare a rose. Let's give her a rose.
You can give something unique. See, roses you can find in Google also. So just give something unique. Yeah.
Maybe blue roses on, or maybe
blue roses also you can find, Atul. Something like your imagination.
So I'll give you an example. Typical use cases. How do we cover as because I'm a company, I'm a marketing company, and I'm a shoe company, and I want to present I'm building a shoe line, and I want to present a shoe presenting in front of maybe London Bridge. So shoe in front of London, so presenting in front of London Bridge. So this is one of the use cases. So you are a developer, and these are a lot of such SHOE in front of London Bridge. Yeah, shoe, SHOE, shoe. Shoe as a marketing material in front of a London Bridge, basically. Just quickly, yeah. So these are, let's suppose, so these are some of the use cases. I'm a marketing team. I want to build some images. How do I do? So you're working in a team, and how you leverage these examples. This is maybe not be good. We're just saying it's generating images now on the fly as well. Correct. Tina,
and one more thing I want to add here. Yeah. This is not taking from anywhere from the Google. Okay, so there is no copyright issue here. There's no copyright issue.
Absolutely. And now I can even change it and say, look, now it's a, so now let's suppose I can build, I have a shoe, which is, I can change the design. I can say, put a logo or and it'll build it for you. I can use that in your marketing material as well. Okay. So I hope this is just a very simple example like that. You'll be working lots and lots of use cases like real industries, and that's what you'll be writing and say, these are the things which have leveraged or used my generative AI and playing with that. Because of the time, as I said, I'm going to fast forward and moving so Tina is saying, is Azure AI Studio behind a subscription wall? Absolutely. Everything is behind a subscription wall, but they give you a free account. And most of these labs you're performing, they are a couple of cents. So it's like image, probably very, very small, and maybe under $1 or $2, under $1, most of the labs you should be able to perform, unless go very advanced machine learning, very deep learning, that too is under $1 or $2 as well. It's totally worth spending time because you're going to turn lots and lots of money as well. Yeah. So exactly. Thanks everyone. Okay, let's move on. Let's go back. As I said, come back. I'm going to pick it now here from here because as I said, I have a lot to cover. I want you to just talk about generative AI if you can cover, just about generative AI if you can cover. That will be helpful on the presentation slide. Or do you want me to cover that?
Please cover it.
Okay, so if you have, there are a lot of questions.
It's already done. I have done my part. You can cover it. Yeah.
Okay, so let me share my screen, and then I say is yes, but I want you to do is where's my screen? Share my screen. Yeah. Okay. So what I want to do is based on, I know we're in a rush, but if you're between here, if you have to rate between, I'm going to cover that generative AI as well, and I'm going to cover this. I'll do a quick recap as well. But for Varsha, and I'm going to ask you to rate mine. Please give me more than her. No, I'm just kidding. Between 1 to 5, you have to rate Varsha. What things you have, and if you're giving below 5, and you can give more than 5 as well. Rate her between 1 to 5 so far, what you've learned from her. And if you can give more, and if you're giving less than 5, I would love if you can tell me what we could have done to make it 5-star experience. 5, 10 billion, 10 out of 10, Tefik. Thank you very much. 5, 10, 5. And you can be generous as well. Divya could have given more than 5 as well. I'm just given time she had. Yes, absolutely, Tina. As I said, I'm to cover as well, and I'll say So whatever questions are coming, she'll be answering behind the scene now. So if you can answer, as I said, we have got tons and tons of questions. I'll cover, my team will be answering them as well. Okay. And if you don't get the answer, don't worry. I'm going to pick up these questions. Maybe over the email, you'll be getting those as well. So let me see. This is again a studio, which I was talking about. This is, you will be building. You can go and create yourself. And in fact, I want you to do for yourself as well. In fact, an email which I'm going to send after this video, like a session, in that I'm going to give you a step-by-step instructions, a video which I've done in the past. You can create a free account and you can play with that, and you can build this as well, absolutely free. How to do this open studio as well. So this is overall Microsoft Azure Studio. Bottom you see a machine learning platform. Above that you have customizable models. What is model? Again, we would go deeper later, but you have one OpenAI service, and then you have a scenario-based services. You'll be actually building and leveraging all of those as well. And on top of that, those who are working, there are a lot of other services are like Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate. You don't need to worry all of them. We're going to focus on the bottom part as well. Okay. If you look at generative AI, how do you develop? Again, this is develop generative AI, which is OpenAI services. You have to know, and you perform all these hands-on labs, creating a free account, creating your like OpenAI resource, and do it via command line through GUI as well, and play with this open studio, play with these models. Then how do you deploy the models? How do you apply there's something called prompt engineering, which prompt is where you asking questions and getting in answers. And then also not just basic prompt, but more advanced prompts, and applying some parameters, like there's something called as temperatures. There's something called as top probability, top K, you might have heard of. If not, we're going to cover and explain you. There's more examples like few shot learning. There's a chain of thoughts. These are more advanced level of prompt engineering that you should be doing. Then you go for how to generate code. She was asking, mentioning about Codex as well. Am I going fast? And let me know. Yes, I'm going fast knowingly, because as I said, I'm going to cover something so that you can understand. You can then take a call and you can decide as well. Okay. We'll okay. So then you cover the code. Then you cover or learn how to generate images. What we have covered is very, very basic, but you need to go much more implementing DALL-E model. And if you have your own model, we're also going to tell you how to basically import or deploy the other models. This is just what comes out of the box, but you can deploy your own models as well. And then you go for something called RAG, retrieval augment generation, because you have your own data. A lot of use cases come, and we have started using for our own company, and we're implementing for others companies. Generic is fine, but you need to know your custom based on your data. It can start leveraging that. So how do you do that as well? Also, as she was already talking about responsible AI, it's very, very important. And within responsible AI, you need to do hands-on labs in terms of how do you identify the harms possible? How do you document them? You test and verify them, because not every alert is a wrong alert. Not every thing is not harmful. So how do you do them? There are mitigation. How do you mitigate that potential harm? And there are different layers: model layer, safety system layer, there's a prompt layer, meta prompt layer, or guarding layer, and then we have a user experience layer. You have to protect your customers from all of these. And these are the kind of things you should be learning. Now, Microsoft doesn't cover, don't ask for the LangChain, but what we realize is LangChain is thinking of multiple models, putting them intermingled or connecting them through a LangChain. This is a framework or model which you'll be learning, or set of libraries you'll be learning. This is not as per Microsoft Azure, but we have added it because in jobs, in companies, in implementations, companies, people expect you to know those things. So we've added a bonus module about LangChain as well. Okay, so this is again about AI, everything about AI, generative AI as well. And I'm going to go in short and sweet about, because I think we are running a lot short on time. Yes, absolutely. That's one part, Mohammed, but there are more on RAGs, is just a lot more than this. Okay. So am I making sense? Put your chat window. Yes. Type a yes on the chat window on ML. Or do you want to keep it and cover ML or skip the ML? Let me know, cover or skip ML. Cover. Okay, Naveen, cover. Okay, guys. Okay. I need a 5-star rating. Okay, guys, I'm going to go high level, cover everything. Abhishek. Okay. I need a coffee or tea or drink from you guys, those who are saying cover. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's keep it coming. Again, as I said, I'm going to go high level, go fast, but then can have, if you need more machine learning services. So on typically what you do, you have a data that's coming, and data is being used to train the model. And then when you train, you validate. You keep training and you validating and test. This is a cycle that runs. You train, you validate, you evaluate, and it's happening in circles. And finally, once you're happy with enough data, it's ready to deploy as well. And that's what is you do. It's right or wrong and happening correctly. And once you're happy with, based on tons and tons of amount data, that's why I said data is a key player. Data is big and data is important. Why we also telling you, and I'll give you, if you don't know the data, how you can learn, I'm going to give you everything that you need is covered. So that's why this data as well. So this is a typical workflow. You prepare your data, then you write your, using integrated development environment, you write or build your own models. Now, this is, I'm going, as I said, more deeper. You're building your own models, you're training and testing the models. Then you're registering the model on deploy. There's something called as containers and Kubernetes. You're deploying them and deploying as a web service so you can start leveraging. Now, you might be wondering, what is containers Kubernetes? How do you register that? How do I train that? Everything will be taught and explained to you. No, you don't need to worry about, you don't need to guess anything. Everything is step-by-step manner. Now, the way you do OpenAI Studio earlier, something similar to that, you have a workspace, which is called as machine learning workspace. In that, you have a compute, which is nothing but your CPU and memory. Notebooks to write your code if you have. Building pipelines, I'll explain you what is pipeline. You have data coming, you have experiments, you have models, everything into inside the workspace. And then you will need other additional services like storage to store the data. You need insights to monitoring. You need keywords for security. You need virtual machines or maybe containers or Kubernetes to deploy and run these applications. And everything bundled inside is a resource group. Everything bundled inside is a resource group, and that resource group is paid through something called a subscription. And then everything in that is inside the Microsoft Azure cloud. Is it all making sense? Oh, lost me. Okay, Suresh, am I still, you guys are still with me? Am I making sense? Thank you, Arnold. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I would love Tina anytime, home tea, coffee. Anytime 3 a.m. here. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes, all good. Okay, good. Yes, it's okay, making sense. Brilliant. Okay, so then this is a machine learning pipeline. I'm talking in the context of Azure. You can use, so you first bring the data and you model the data. And then how do you bring the model, how you bring the data from multiple? So you have a data that you need to model, which could be enterprise data, third-party data, coming from services like Data Factory, which is an Azure tool. It's coming from Stream Analytics, and then bringing into storage, which is maybe a data lake, Synapse, SQL databases. Okay, these are different stores, and it could be another part as well. And then that is where you have the training and model, which is AI and AI. That is where machine learning is coming to picture and building and deploying. And then once this is done, it's being deployed on different solutions, depending on, it could be virtual machines, other places. This is analytic workload. And then your front end being represented and displayed to you by different services. This is the whole model. Now, if I go with whole machine learning model training, what do? You first begin and train and evaluate the model. Once model is being done and evaluated by, someone will come and put into a model registry. Means like model is stored somewhere, so I know it's kind of a tracking. Think of it as like your register, you maintain, and you say, okay, fine, there are 3 things I've checked in. Then you have something called as editor, which is where you can create a script to deploy them, ready to deploy. Then there's something on, how many of you guys know already containers and Kubernetes? Put in the chat window, containers and Kubernetes. So containers and Kubernetes, I think it's going overboard right now, but I think because I've made a promise, yes, some guys know, some guys don't know. Yes, okay. So Docker, yes, Docker and containers. A lot of guys know, no, that's fine. Hema, you don't know, that's fine. So you'll be learning containers and Kubernetes as well. I'm going now way advanced things, way advanced, which will set you apart from anyone. Correct containers, Mark. Containers, ECS, EKS, something similar in Azure is AKS and EKS. So you go deeper, something no one can touch you, something will help you in $200,000, $300,000 job. Okay, so you do deploy in a containers and Kubernetes. Then you deploy on a cloud. It could be AWS, Azure, Google, Oracle, any cloud. It doesn't matter. It's cloud native. And then you monitor using monitoring tools like Azure Monitor or Prometheus or Grafana and tools like those as well. You can do all those things as well. And then monitoring performance as well. So this is on a high level of monitoring. Now, DP 100 is a certification where you go and learn all these things. Again, I don't want to focus more on just on certification. I focus on hands-on lab. I focus on learning. I focus on making sure you learn and knows. Certification will happen automatically. Certification is a byproduct of that. So you do is, again, a lot of extensive hands-on labs. Because of time, I'm not going, but the promise is you should be doing, learning, implementing, and you should confidently go and implement those things. That's the important point is about. So as I said, I went very, very fast. I'm going to cover a few things as well. Now, between how do you rate me on, I know it's a very short, but if you rate me as well, I would love to. And if you rate below 5, let me know. But between 1 to 5, and I'm going to take 1, and then I'll tell you the path as well. 10 out of 5, is it 5 or okay? Like, I don't know. No, thank you. 5, or okay, brilliant. And again, as I said, we both have a different teaching style. I'm not a good teacher. What I'm good at is making sure you're getting a result, making sure you get a job, making sure that you get results as well. AI 102 will be talking about as well. 102 module 1 and 2. I'm going to show it to you, Gayatri, as well. But 4.5, that's fine, Oleni. That's totally fine. Let me know what I could have done to make it 5-star as well. For me, I have one core value, what we can do. I said I'm going fast because of time. Thank you very much, Tina. Okay, so let me show it to you 102. Again, focus is not on just certification. Focus is making sure that you're getting a result. That's a more important point. So you begin with getting started with AI service where you learn all the services. Then we do with computer vision. We go with language processing. We go with implementing knowledge mining. This is very, very key. Going for AI documentation. And this is again just one module, generative AI. What I've done is because so much demand, I've taken this whole and built a program itself, very, very deep generative AI that you'll be getting as part of this as well. Okay. So this is on a high level. Thank you, Tina. Thanks very much. As I said, I put in my heart and soul. For me, this is a passion project. Okay. I'm going to go again. We'll talk about certification, very high level. If you look at the certification, this is overall certification. Okay. Left hand side you see is more about infrastructure related, something that will make you a developer, DevOps, architect, solution architect, security. These are the certifications. Middle one that you see are data fundamental, data engineer, data architect, those database administrator. And then right hand side is the AI and machine learning that you see, AI 900 fundamentals, AI engineer, and DP 100. Now these dotted means you can go directly. None of them is you can appear any certification anytime as well. You don't need to. Only exception is 305, which is solution architect, and 400, which is DevOps. We cover all of them in different programs. I'm going to focus on this part here today. So from an AI and machine learning, focus on AI engineer, focus on data scientist. You can do fundamental as well, but again, with fundamental, getting a job is not difficult. You have to have this one in my view. Okay, again, for job, you don't even need a certification. For job, what you need is a hands-on, again, important for as well. So very high level, I'm not going to go, I'm saying I'm going to skip this part, which is very easy. You can find out there are 6 modules as she covered earlier, 102. These, everything we're going to go in detail, you will be learning deeper into these things. Data scientist, DP, there are main 4 categories: designing and preparing a machine learning solution, exploring and training the data, preparing the model, and then actually deploying and retaining the data models. So all those 6 modules that you see are going to be covered in depth. Again, a lot of guys come, how long it will take me? What is the duration? What is the time? And I always say, it's all as long as you get result. In our view, 3 to 4 months are more than enough. Some people have done it in 1 month. Some people have done 2 months. Some people have taken 3 months, 4 months. Main objective is, can you get a result? And whatever it takes for you to get a result, and result is maybe a job, maybe a certification, maybe both of them, or maybe you're working on a project. Am I making sense, guys? With that, let's look at, and the next part is, how do you work with us? There are 3 options. I'm going to go high level, job oriented, which I'm going to go deeper, which very, very depth. But some guys say, oh, I'm not interested in job. I'm only want a certification, just how to show off. That's totally fine with us. We'll explain you. But then, hey, I'm not ready right now. I want to go job oriented, but I want to begin small. I can't afford, because I said our programs are way, way more than the value that we provide, and you will get 10 times of investment what you're doing. But then not everyone is ready. People want to try it. That's totally fine. You begin with, I want to focus on generative AI. That's totally fine. But we sold out. We opened it for a couple of days. We sold out within 2 days, within like probably 48 hours. So I'll explain you those as well, 3 options as well. But before that, I want to go on a 3-step framework, because everything that you see in a job-oriented program, it's built using 3-step framework. And that's where I want to go. Even if one thing you take away is use that 3-step framework. Either you work with us or you do on your own, but make sure you follow this. Are you ready? Put in the chat window and say 3-step. Are you ready? Put in the chat window and say 3 steps. I'm going to wait and then say 3 steps. Good. Thanks, Shri Prashad. Thank you. Thank you very much. Tina, Vesh, okay, brilliant. Okay, and this is a key takeaway, guys. This is important. A lot of guys skip or don't do correctly. Either they skip or have a lot of doubts and questions, or bring those questions and doubts as well. As I said, step one is you have to master it. There's no compromise. There's no shortcuts. People say, oh, just do this certification, I'll get a job. No, period. It's all BS. My view is become expert. How to make expert quickly? That's my guarantee. So become an expert in that particular topic, and not expert by just reading it, but actually implementing it, doing the hands-on lab, doing the project work, the way you in real world. So when you go to the interviewer doesn't care whether you've done the certification or not. It's good, looks good on paper. What that cares is, can this person deliver me? If I assign something, will he be able to do it or not? And they will grill you on things. And if you've done the hands-on lab, if you've done the project work, you'll get a. Recently, there is a, if you go down to YouTube reviews, which I'll probably not time for right now, but tons and tons of guys, people crave for this hands-on lab, come from project, come from actual implementation, because if you've done it, you don't need to remember anything. You have to just explain or talk, and you'll be confident once you do those things. That's number one. With that, parallelly, mistake people do is they leave it for last minute. Like those who are coming from a development background, they know testing, they leave it last minute, and that becomes a problem. Similarly, I don't want you to resume or LinkedIn, don't leave it last minute. Begin with day one. And that's why you start preparing your LinkedIn as well as resume, which I'll talk in a minute, why you should be starting a little bit early, even before you're ready to apply for the jobs. So it's very important. LinkedIn is very, very key and perfect. Then the most important part, in my view, once you've done all this, doing mock interviews, very, very important, key on mock interviews. Any questions on that? I'm going to go deeper, but any questions on that and any reservations, any concerns? So why should I do this or not on that? Because that's what my objective is. Am I making sense? Type yes in the chat window. Am I making sense? Type yes and say yes, making sense. Yes, great. Divya, thanks. Shripisha, thank you, everyone. Brilliant. So key points again, as I said, I'll repeat. So first is make sure that you learn generative AI. That's hot. If you have just a generative AI alone, and if you do other things with just generative AI, and you look at a few other things like preparing resume, LinkedIn, and do 1 or 2 projects, you're good. So again, as I said, is learn end-to-end generative AI. We'll cover that. But in fact, I do so hands-on, excessive hands-on. We go above and beyond what Microsoft tells you to do, because Microsoft material is very small. And if you go with that generative AI in the market, it will be difficult. I will be transparent. And that's why we say go deeper into very extensive hands-on labs. And I've included LangChain because when we were helping our clients, they realized, or in fact, I was doing, they were expecting these things. So we included. Then again, I'm not bothered even AI 900 because it's easy peasy if you follow this, what I'm talking, but it's good to do those labs because that's when you will understand. So that's why even 900, we cover a lot of extensive hands-on labs. Okay. But then you can directly also go much deeper into these AI 102 hands-on labs. Hands-on labs are key and important for me on key. And then once you've done AI itself, AI 102 and generative AI, and with these two knowledge itself, you can get a job, no doubt about it. But I don't want to leave anything unturned. And some people say, oh, machine learning, we go deeper into machine learning. I will do machine learning as well, where you learn end to end. So you are pretty one package, you have everything included in that. So when you're competing with someone who knows just AI versus someone who knows AI and ML, who will they hire? Let me put in the chat window. Someone they hire with the both or single skill. Someone their companies are hiring someone, they got one person with just AI and another person with AI and ML. Which one will they hire? Both. Absolutely. Again, I'm not saying that, oh, if you can't get a job just with alone AI, you will get a job in AI, but you will have a better prospect as well. Absolutely, you're right. They want more. Absolutely, Amit. Okay, and how? And if you're getting it, we'll be covering that as well. Absolutely, absolutely, yep, absolutely. Higher salaries as well. So, as I said, don't get overwhelmed. And don't feel, oh, I have to do 80 laps. We're going to make it so simple and easy. You'll be performing. There'll be step-by-step videos, step-by-step guide, and everything will be there to help and support. Again, second thing is you don't need to do all of them. As I said, always say begin with small, begin with early, and prepare. That will go deeper into those. But if you finish all that, you can't get a job. I can guarantee you that will not happen. I've not seen a single person who performed the labs and do the project work and haven't got a job. And that's why I see tons and tons of guys and results. So I'm going to go high level. You understand the basic, create account and play. We will be learning from scratch one by one. You go and integrate your OpenAI into your applications. Okay, whatever application you have. Again, you don't know coding, leave that coding part. You go on something else. And if you love coding, you come and do coding and leave other part which you may not be interested. But there's always a role available for something or other. prompt engineering, very, very important. As I said, maybe actually using adjusting temperature and top P and top K and other things as well. How to write effective prompts, how to use few shots learning, how to use few thoughts in actually by doing labs. In advance, how do you set markers, cues, improve accuracy, and then go more about deeping is how do you create codes. In fact, if you're a developer, trust me, you'll be worried if you see the code. I can write a code, and even I can write your code, I can extend, I can convert a code. It gives me a few minutes. It can even write all the entire documentation for me, and that's what you need to learn. You can write entire function, which is a function in serverless in Azure, but you can write your entire application on using this, and you'll be seeing that. In fact, I was surprised and shocked to hear that a couple of years back. Then, as I said, we just show Delhi, but again, it can even fix bugs for you, improve the code performance. If a performance tuning can do, again, Delhi will do all the graphics or all the images, everything that you need. Also, most important is people expect how you can leverage my data based on my data, and that's where these racks will come into picture as well. How do you implement your own data? Then security, responsibility, responsible content filters. How do you do all those things we are covering? This is generative AI alone. Okay. Then you go for AI 900. Again, I'm not going to go deeper into, but everything that you need to know by doing in AI 900. Same thing is AI 102. Everything that you need to do for AI engineer by actually doing those. That's why extensive hands-on lab 23 just on an AI 102 as well. Then you go for machine learning, more in creating a workspaces, experimenting, automated ML. Earlier we saw how to train the model, how do you work with designers, how do you work with a real-time inferencing service, how do you create a pipeline, how do you deploy in compute, which is could be a virtual machine or Kubernetes and so on. And then how do you do batch inferencing, hyperparameters. These are more advanced. Don't worry about it. It took me a lot of time, and some of these things I still don't know, but I work and implement as a machine learning. I can go and talk about these things. Okay, so you don't need to know all of them. Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? Now, additional things are long chain as well. This is something which I wanted to talk about as well. Okay. Yes, I used some of the part for my. Okay, Ash is saying, do older people in the early 60s got discriminated for job? Not at all, Ash. What they discriminate is if they don't have a knowledge. If your knowledge, Ash, if you have a knowledge and if you skill, companies don't care. In fact, they want more mature guys because they can leverage theirs as well. I hope that I'm making sense as well. Yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you. So, okay, so a lang chain again, core component, like lang chain, how to do. Also, now, as I said, data is key. So because all these things when we're implementing and people are going for a job, they were asking, or they were asking about data foundation because everything works on backup data. So what have we included? I've included data for beginners on this whole thing, and including the live interactive ETL and so on. Then what we realize is Python. Again, you don't need to be a coder or programmer, but it will give you enough. But if you want to become one, or you want to know how the code is being tested, because there will be some part, you can skip that part if you don't want to, but we'll teach you, at least you have a basic understanding. So when you go to the interview and the interviewers ask, hey, do you know Python? Yeah, I know and understand Python, and maybe I can work depending on what you want to do. Python again, if it's required, we are covering that as well. So everything like NumPy, Pandas, all the advanced things that you probably do again. Now also Docker and Kubernetes. So when you build AI and machine learning, Microsoft gives you space. How do you deploy? You deploy in Azure Kubernetes services. Now, what we realize is if you have these additional knowledge, companies always tend to hire if you have these additional knowledges. So very handy comes into handy. So that is where, again, as I said, I'm not going to go on deeper, but very high level. Traditionally, we were building applications on a normal hardware. Then 2005, hypervisor came and the virtualization VMware came. 2013, Docker containers came. And at the same time, Kubernetes came for managing these containers. So you have something called as Kubernetes services, Azure Kubernetes service, tons and tons of job just on Azure Kubernetes. But that's not enough now. When you're doing AI and machine learning, when you say, I know about Kubernetes and how to deploy on Kubernetes, they would love you on that. So that's why we're giving a bonus for limited time. Again, this bonus is limited time, Azure Container Registry, container instance, Kubernetes, and everything that you know about building, managing Kubernetes clusters on Azure cloud, period. This is a very, very in-depth program that you see with hands-on labs, so that you can deploy your Kubernetes cluster on here that you see Kubernetes cluster. So you understanding what's happening behind the scene, and you can clear the interviews. Am I making sense, guys? Are you still with me? Put the chat window and say, are you still with me? Or am I going too fast? Yes, Vish. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Is it making sense now when some others are getting a job, higher paid job, why they're getting and why you're not getting? Because you're missing these bits and you need to improve on that points. Some part topic of my webinar, some part of that I use at some part, not fully. I think I've mentioned. Okay, great. Okay, let's continue. So this is again end-to-end machine learning pipeline. You do all those things. You understand we're going to cover in machine learning operations. But then how do I leverage Azure DevOps for scripting my DevOps CI/CD pipeline, continuous integration, continuous delivery and deployment, and then these workspaces. And then there's something called observability. A lot of companies expect you to know observability, which is monitoring, management, logging, and use tools like Azure Monitor, Azure Apps Insight, Log Analytics. And that's what sets you apart from others. And once you know and understand this, maybe do one certification is more than enough just to show on paper if you want to. But I can guarantee you without a certification also, you can get a job as well. But we're going to cover on, and we're going to give you tons and tons of sample questions all on fundamentals, AI fundamental, Azure engineer, and data scientist. In fact, we're adding another bonus called another thing which is called as Azure fundamentals, because that will give you full overall idea. So you're not guessing anything, you're knowing, and also an explanation of why an answer is right or why other answers are wrong, so that you can never fail in certification for sure as well. And with that, you do the project work. Like for example, a use cases, maybe healthcare. So we're going to use generative AI use cases on 3 most paying industries: healthcare, telecom, and finance. And you'll be building some use cases on real world implementation. So you can say, oh, this is the proof of concept I did. Oh, this is the project I did for this company or that company. And you write and you resume as an experience. So generative AI for healthcare, synthetic data generation. So you can generate even data on for data generation being used, asked. How do I do the personalized content recommendation? You might have seen maybe LinkedIn, or you might have seen on Amazon, you buy shopping, it recommends. And we are implementing a lot of those things as well. You do NLPs using chatbots, you're creating a chatbot, or maybe doing loan eligibility with someone. What are the chances of someone getting a loan based on the parameters of the user? Or what are the chances of credit card default based on machine learning techniques? So should I give a credit card or not give a credit card? And there are a lot of such use cases as well. LangChain project, image analysis project. In fact, what we recommend you is whatever project you're implementing, bring them and we can help you on those projects as well. So project is very, very important, guys. Very important point. So that's step number 1 is becoming expert. Am I making sense? Put the chat window still with me. Edo is saying, how do you make full use of this course to do? So Ash, you don't need any hardware. All you need is you don't need any hardware, because that's the beauty. You don't need any hardware for the full course. All you need is a laptop, a machine, just a Chrome browser, or whatever browser you choose, Chrome or Internet Explorer. Everything we're going to do it on cloud, Ash. Okay. Which certification path for good for AI for AWS or Azure? Another question, Aldo, is I get both are good. You can pick any of them. Don't fix. Will you like Mercedes or do you like BMW? You choose. Okay. Do you like? Okay, making sense. Yes. How long does it take to land a job in spending around 5 days? Amir, I'll come to that point. Depending on where are you right now, which country you're from, and what your background is, it can take as early as a couple of weeks. Okay, guys, I'm going to show it to you, which I'm going to cover exactly what the problem and challenge is. I can cover as quickly as a couple of weeks to a couple of months. Okay, and there's a possibility if you don't do the work, you will never get a job as well. Okay, so it depends again, but if you know a little bit about, you can get in weeks as well. Arnold is saying it seems AI machine learning jobs pay more than cloud roles. See, again, they're growing exponentially. I do the cloud role, but add AI and machine learning. That's what I've done, Arnold. How I do is because AI machine learning, I've added on top of that. So it's not like they don't pay good. Everything pay good, but you have to build on top of that as well. Data engineering is good as well. Huge opportunities. Amir, I think you got the point. Brilliant. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, there are 2 parts. One is resume, second is LinkedIn. And the mistake people do is resume, impressive resume, highlighting relevant skills and project. And that is important, relevant skills and project. And those of you not getting interview calls, I want you to leave me a comment on here now and tell me that I've applied for not getting a job. And I'll tell you now, pay attention as well. We'll pay special attention here, not getting interview calls. or applying on not job offer? Remind me again how many of you were, and I'll see if you're still here, then I'll focus more on, otherwise I'll skip this part. Great, Mamadi. Okay, so I think pay attention onto that. Is it just one? Is it just two? Put in the chat window or not, we can skip this part. I'm going to do it. Okay. Me. Okay, great. Now they're coming. Okay, great. Clear. Okay, thanks. Me. Okay, so if you're not getting a job, first and most important is your resume is not ATS compliant. ATS application tracking system. A lot of these tools have now automated. Before you even go to the human, it checks and says, should I give it to you or not? And that's why you need to make your resume ATS friendly. That's number one, very, very important. Second mistake is people send the same resume. How many of you guys are sending the same resume? Put the chat window, same or different. Every job you apply, you need to send, even if it's recently, I think I was speaking, I forgot the name of the guy. Gosh, it's on YouTube. He had applied 72 jobs and 72 different resumes. I'm not saying change completely, but first page, highlight key points on especially first page, first paragraph. So when an interviewer says, oh, this is the kind of a guy I was looking for. That's number one. So different, great. So Hema, don't make that mistake of having the same resume. Make sure if it's different. And even if you're different, people write irrelevant things, write things that are not even relevant. Write a lot of stuff, fluff. The technical job, they're writing about project manager. Or maybe job one, they're writing job is about Azure or cloud, AWS cloud. They're writing something they've done 10 years back on premise, which is no relevance to that. Remove all of them. As well. So tailor with keyword. Is ATS biased for one page resume? Not biased, as long as you have enough content enough. So enough is important. There's no smaller or there's not small or big. You to have, I'm not saying do one page, do as much as is required to ATS compliant. In fact, we're going to help you with that resume building part as well. So don't write resume. In fact, I do a lot of resume reviews and people write a lot of things which are not even relevant or waste of time, and I'll reject immediately if I see that. Okay, so that's what exactly we saw. I was talking about Joby. He was US, moved to Australia, and within Australia also Southern Australia, very remote job. And he was telling the same story. He was like, you couple of months back he came and can't not apply. Oh, there's not enough jobs and there's not enough interviews. I say, as long as there's one job, you should get that job. And as long as there's one job in the country, then you're good. And so I started getting, so prepared on resume as well as interviews with the right attitude. That's important key. And I started getting back-to-back interviews, resulting job offer within 2 weeks. That's the beauty. That's a part that can make you different as well. Okay. Now another one is that resume preparation. We help you with all the resumes. We'll give you the sample resumes. We tell you what mistakes you might be doing. In fact, we have a whole thing. You'll get all those things as well. I've done a lot of work onto that. And my primary focus is on these programs we'll bring experts on teaching like Varsha. We have tons and tons of experts. They're going to go and bring. My objective is if you're stuck, how do you unstuck is because I've done it number of times. Every 6 months I change my job because I enjoy, first of all, the challenging work, but I do experiment, can I get a job and better than previous ones. So everything you're going to learn as well. Then you're going to make, and LinkedIn is very, very important. So your resume might be good. I'm going for the interview. I want to select this person for interview. I go to LinkedIn. There's nothing about that skill. LinkedIn is crap. And that's why I'm not going to, I'll reject you. Or might hire you, come for an interview, but I've already made up my mind. This guy he's not even updating the LinkedIn. How many of you guys are not updating the LinkedIn? Shriprasad, Varsha is going to cover some part again. As I said, we're going to bring experts. So Varsha will be covering some her part as well. So I'm going to, because it's a very comprehensive program, and I'm going to bring experts on all of them. Everyone is vouches and expert, and my guarantee, my face on the lake. For me, I believe in result. Okay, so Devashish, thank you very much for reminding. Yes, Devashish, my guys. Oh no, thank you very much. Yeah, you were in the class. Devashish, absolutely updated. Okay, updated, but updated with key points in terms of, is it matching? Is it, if I go and look at the resume, is it at least have a relevant things as well? So the key points are, there are few particular points, headline, but experience, skills and endorsement. How do you get for endorsements? How do you get recommendations? How do you show a project work? This is very, very important key. And again, we give you a dedicated module teaching about this, and I tell you about this. Michael said, oh, we gave it inside the program, we do it, and people start seeing Michael from UK did the my I did my homework, updated my LinkedIn profile, and as soon as I did it, I got tons of emails for job prospects. So if you're not getting LinkedIn requests and LinkedIn things, you're not either posting the content which is good and important, or you're not doing it correctly, or your LinkedIn doesn't look good. You should be getting, especially AI, machine learning, cloud. If you're working on cloud, if you're working on data, if you're working on AI, if you're working on machine learning, you should be getting left, right, center recruiters reaching you, because there's a lot of scarcity, a lot of gap in the market for good guys as well. And the final and third part is practice mock interviews. In fact, that's why we start mock interviews even before you're ready. We bring everyone in the group, we put a hot seat, you're sitting and preparing for the interview, and others are on those interviews, sitting on the panel, and you're seeing them. There are other guys at your level and these interviews are based on the job description, real job descriptions as well. So you'll be having a different techniques in terms of scenario-based questions, technical questions, troubleshooting, background, implementation, experiences, all those things will be covered and asked. So in fact, we bring different, as I said, industry experts who are actually implementing these things, who are taking interviews, who are giving interviews at different levels. So you can understand. That's why someone's asking about who's going to be a trainer. We'll have multiple trainers, multiple experiences, because one trainer is not all enough, because so huge, so big. So bring every expert in their own domains. They come and teach on their skills as well. Am I making sense, guys? So mock interview is very, very important as well. And this is what happens is Atisha is from my team. I wanted to thank you for last mock-up interviews. I passed my technical interview, waiting for the final ones as well. Imagine you're struggling for interviews, you got interview calls, and you cleared multiple rounds. Am I making sense as how it will make you feel? I'll make it feel as well. Put in the chat window, are you still with me? Put in the chat window, are you still with me? Am I making sense? Should we continue? Should we go further down? There are a few tips under my belt as well. Mistake. Thank you very much, or not. Thanks, Mamadi. Thanks, Kiran. Thank you, everyone, guys. Lots of it. Still here. Makes total sense. Brilliant, Mark. Thank you. Okay. Okay, brilliant. Continue. Brilliant. Okay. So then again, another one. Pradeep, cleared my first round of Director of Engineering. And we'd like to proceed with the next round. And again, keep coming back to us for interview preparation mock. And that is a guarantee of success. That's 100% guaranteed if you follow this 3-step framework. And again, start early, both for mock interviews, and especially a lot of guys I can see inside my program are also here. Please, please, please book your mock interviews, book your interview preparation sessions, book your LinkedIn profile update, and start early even before you're ready. Do that as well. So mock interviews as well. And that's how you get hired. Kennedy, I think, about him, and especially those inside program, final interviews, accepted senior technical advisor position. Another one here, Vinay, cracked 2 interviews, attended lesser sessions, joined in the middle, but so effective points. Another one here, I said, Shovik, I mentioned at the start, he's like, someone is asking, I'm 50 plus or 60 plus, do they basically, any bias? Not at all. But it would be good. You can't simply go and say, I have 60 years experience, but you can't speak about AI and machine learning or whatever role you're applying. You'd be good in what you're doing. And if you do that, job is easy. Okay, so let's move on and continue here. Again, we don't stop there, because getting a job is one thing. And I'm sure and confident, 100% confident, if you follow, you'll get a job. But what happens after the job is the next part, which is you need a support, you need a hand holding, you need some guidance. And that's what we do, so that you can be successful in that job. Why we do that? Because it takes a lot of effort. I have a big team of 40 plus guys. Why we do that much is because then I know you're going to come back again next year, 2 years down the line, because a lot of our customers are repeat customers. They come back, you will learn, you're going to get a ton of money, and 2 years, 3 years down the line, you will have very good experience. All you'll recommend to 10 other guys when you're seeing the results. So it's win-win for us. We win because you win. And then you share a lot of other friends, and they become the program. And also when you implementing, you bringing those implementations, we share in our program of those implementations. In fact, so that's the kind of things you'll be getting as well. And that's, like I said, training Srinivas. Assume you're managing a team where you need to support and you need to guide not only for yourself but entire team. I really got confidence from these sessions. For attending, allowed me to take a prestigious object. It's $1 million project, big engineering company. I'm leading a team of 30 guys as well. So these are kind of things on you should be doing. Now, what I want to do is write down in the chat window and say how much money you want to earn from this program. Umita Beta is saying, United Beta is saying how much it will cost. We'll talk about that cost. Money is secondary. Money becomes very simple and easy. How much you want to earn and aim high, whatever country you are, dollars, pounds, euros as well. So can you write down, and because I want to see and what you want to do with that, because that high why is important. Put the chat window and let me know. I want to see how much. Yeah, so 280, but is it, do you want to limit yourself to 280 or you want to go higher or not? That's the point about as well. So am I making sense, guys? Put in the chat window and let it 280, higher for sure. How much higher? Put in the chat window and let me know, please, on this. 50 lakhs per annum, Lakshmi. Okay. And then, yeah, more guys. Someone from India, $150K. Hema, are you not undercharging? 5 million worth 3 to 5 years, want to create a star. Brilliant, Amir. Superb. That's 500K then. Arnold, yeah. So look at what is realistic, what companies are doing and how much you can aim as well. Naveen, 80 lakhs per annum. Now, what happens is when you aim high and when you high, if you buy, you go and you try to sell yourself cheap. I'm not saying go absolute money without unrealistic thing, but whatever is the paying highest in that bracket, put yourself into that bracket. Why? Because if you go and try to sell if I tell you a Ferrari being sold in maybe in the price of whatever, maybe the cheapest car, maybe Ford or something, and that's no respect for disrespect for those who have owned Ford, but there's nothing wrong. What I'm saying is if you go and sell it to people, will think, oh, there must be something wrong. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So make sure that you do, yeah, 900,000. Yeah, Tina is saying, I saw Netflix AMN roll on 900,000. Absolutely, aim high and you'll end up somewhere in the middle as well. So there are good paying job of, as I said, 230,000 average. There are 290,000 as well. And there are AI intelligent jobs. There are a lot of jobs role as well in Azure. So if you see now, whatever country you're in, India, US, Canada, Europe, Middle East, Singapore, there are lots and lots of job and good paying job. Aim high on as well. Okay, so as I said, this is what I never ever believed that. And again, I was aiming small, very small. There was a day when I said, oh, I can get a 400 pounds a day job. That's much more than enough for me. Or in fact, for when I was earning less than $100 first, I can get a job only. Then I moved to, oh, I get a good job. Someone sends me on site, or 400, 500, 600, 1500. And now if I look back and say, oh, I didn't aim high, I could have done this much quicker and much as well. So aim high, but then with that aim high, also look at why you want to do, because why is important. And I wanted to put in the chat window, is it financial security? Is it you want to buy your house for mortgage, or you want to just pay for all the mortgage, or maybe kids school, or you are like me who want to go house? This is very important to write down. And in fact, maintain a diary and say, I'm doing this for this reason, because that important high. So I want to know is I put it, practical labs will reach out to good aiming ping. Absolutely, yes. How much the cost we'll talk about as well. Those who want to leave, that's totally fine, guys. Those who want to leave, that's totally fine. Financial freedom, wish. Financial freedom, great. Financial freedom, brilliant. What is other one? So because, and you need to coming back when you need this point. Maybe earn high. Maybe I want to go and visit places. I want to freedom. Freedom is important, big point as well. Financial freedom, absolutely. So that you can do what you want to do when you want to do it as well. Okay, so we're going to cover that as well. So now, as I said, I've been going almost now good number of way more than what I initially intended. Way more than. I said there's some technical glitches. We'll sort it out. But let me ask you a question now. Is it okay for me to present that offer? There'll be investment required. And I know you might be going through this firewall, a lot of information coming. Put the chat window. Are you okay for me to present that offer with you in front of you? And say, let me know if you're okay with that on present. Say yes. Using is saying yes. Yes, Lakshmi. Yes, Naveen is saying yes. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much for giving me permission. I'll keep it short, quick, no more than 10 minutes, and we'll wrap it up then with your question answers as well. So I said, is 3 options. The one which you mentioned, everything 3 job oriented, is covered this, which is everything that I've mentioned and we've covered in this session. Irrespective of that session, we've covered this AI, machine learning, generative AI with 4 certifications: Foundation, Azure Foundation, AI Foundation, AI Associate Engineer, and then AI Machine Learning Engineer, and with other things like interview prep, LinkedIn, job, on-job support, resume, 1-year job support, everything that I've sent. So this is option. It's in thousands, like way. I'll explain you and cover you very quickly. Everything that you see here, multiple bonuses, multiple program, everything one-stop shop, including interview preparation, LinkedIn, all those things, AI, machine learning, you'll go cover, including all the certification, including Python as well. I'll go very quickly. This program has 3 core objectives. First is job and job. Make sure you get a job. Very, very important. And I have tons and tons of guys to support, and then you'll get a job if you follow that, what I'm going to mention here. Multiple, I'm not going to repeat that. Second objective is to help you on the project, which is very, very important. Even if you don't have one right now, once you get a job, you will need that help. So that project support, bring your projects as well if you already have. And all you're doing is for project, welcome more than helper. And the third objective is for certification. Easy peasy, as I said, is certification easy, you'll do no doubt. With tons and tons of guys who have done the certification as well. Very easy as well. So all those certifications you'll be able to do as well. 4 of them as well. So this is the third objective as well. So now value of the workshop, I'll go quick, as I said, is what, so that you can compare what you're doing, because when I say talk about, some people find it slightly expensive, which is not, and way, which you'll see that in a minute as well. So we begin with, you'll be learning cloud for beginners. So if you're new to cloud, you'll be learning everything in a step-by-step. You should be able to clear it in maybe 1 or 2 hours. You'll have full clarity of, maybe give a day on full cloud. So this is what you do: cloud service model, deployment model, cloud background, including multi-cloud, everything that I've learned, concise, my 10 years, 12 years learning, concise in a short form in a couple of hours. And then go for Azure for beginners. Everything that you need to know from Azure point of view is Azure services, subscription, all those things, other services, not only the AI machine learning, but other services like compute, storage, networking, again, concise into probably a day of worth. Azure for beginners as well, I'll cover. Then we go for entire Azure fundamental, which is AZ 900. If you go to the market, that will cost you just 1 day, probably around $700 or in excess of $700. We cover that, we give you that. So everything that you need to do to clear AZ 900 certification as well. We have step-by-step hands-on labs, videos that you'll be learning as well. Also, the question answers with their explanation why an answer is right or wrong as well. You'll be learning that. And everything that you go to here is again covered by certificate, like results. Someone has done it before you as well. Okay, then we're going to cover Azure AI fundamental. Again, if you go to the market just for a 1 day, you'll be getting $750, and we're going to give you as a part of this program everything that you've learned on fundamentals. You'll be learning here as well, and we cover all these videos, labs, guides, which are available immediately for you to access immediately, including the sample exam questions. Why an answer is right or wrong, you'll be covering those part as well, and some stories again to inspire people who have done the certifications. No doubt you'll be able to do. Everything is tried and tested, someone before you, so you'll be, or I'll save on. Then we would also cover on develop generative AI. This is the hot market in demand. As I said, if you go to the market, the cheapest will be $750 or just for a day. Again, we go very extensive. We do go a couple of weeks just on generative AI, because I know how important it is. So we have a self-study as well as live session recordings. You'll be getting all those as well. So we go deeper into all those theoretical, hands-on lab, but we also do the project work with that. So it'll be project work again. Then we cover data scientist, which is a DP 100 data scientist. Again, if you go to the market, probably around close to $3,000. That gives you absolutely the program, free part of the program in excess. So that makes the total value in excess of $5,000 that you'll be getting. So we cover everything right from data basics all to machine learning. We'll go very, very deep, including all the end-to-end machine learning. All the videos, labs are there in the program immediately for you, but we're also going to have a live interactive session as well, guys. So important. We do all the hands-on lab that you do in machine learning that you'll be learning, including sample exam questions as well. Now, again, everything I said is tried and tested. People have done the certifications, people have learned and got the job as well. So you'll get those jobs as well. Now, I said testimonials after testimonials for guys. Now we're also going to cover Azure AI Engineer. If you go to the market, that you're getting in excess of $3,000, and they do just 2 days course or 3 days course. I don't entertain that. 2 days, 3 days, you can't consume everything. If you know something, and if you're very, very, very serious learner and very aggressive like me, you might get away with that, but it's very, very challenging. And that's why we give you entire 1 year, whatever you need to learn, and we go very extensive, very comprehensive in AI 1 or 2 as well. You'll be learning with hands-on lab, very extensive hands-on labs on this one, and including sample exam questions and AI. Now, we don't leave there. We know that PySpark, which is Python on Spark, combination of that, we do it for data engineers. What we realized is in machine learning and AI, these things are helpful, especially in machine learning. So we give you that PySpark If you go to the market, it's probably around $1,400 that you'll be getting is. So we cover and we give you PySpark as well. But we also give you Python, because if you go, you can either use C# or .NET SDK, or you can use Python SDK. We're going to use Python SDK in the program. And Python is, we do a separate program in Python. If you go to the market, Python alone will in excess of $2,000. But we go extensive, everything. It's a whole program, and you'll be learning and teaching all the basics from Python to more advanced Pythons like NumPy, Panda, Matplot, and other libraries, and so on as well. And including interview questions, because some people ask on interviews, if you're saying, I know machine learning, they might, Python, we give you interview questions as well. Now, as I said, LinkedIn is very, very important. We hire guys, they charge very premium amount. And if you go to the market, LinkedIn alone, update some hell will cost you $497 or $500 as well. So we help you with all this on your profile. We go, in fact, we even review your LinkedIn profile. This was talking about Debashish, Australia. We do tons and tons of reviews. We also tell you how to publish your content, how to build authority on LinkedIn, and you'll get a result for sure as well. Now, we also give you resume preparation. You'll have multiple resumes, multiple times. We'll even teach you how to build your ATS compliant resume as well. So you'll get tons of resumes as a sample to begin with. Also, we'll give you resume review. So if you see now, all these guys have their resumes reviewed, and you will learn a ton from them as well. Also, we'll give you how to search for a job, how to find the job. Should I apply the job early? What to write? I don't have an experience. How to write? I'm from this country or this experience. We cover everything onto this part as well. Okay. And now, anything else you need mock interviews. So we give you all the entire mock interviews. You have unlimited group mock interviews. You can have weeks after week, any number of times. We never limit. Only thing is that you should get a result. That's why some companies say, oh, we're going to do 2 interviews, 3 interviews, 5 interviews. I don't care with that. If you don't get a result, it's a waste, right? So we continue to give you mock interviews as long as you need, and as long as there's a real interviews or you think you make interviews happening. Am I making sense, guys? Do you think this mock interview alone will help you? Put the chat window. Am I making sense? Are you still with me? Do you think this mock interviews will help as well? So this is what I'm covering is that United Beta. So this is what I'm covering is a job-oriented program. We're focusing on in depth as well. Yes, brilliant. Definitely, thank you. Mock interviews is a bonus, absolutely, and not limited by number of 1 interview, 2 interviews. As long as if you don't get a result, it's a waste. Whatever you learn. So I only talk about results. Okay. Then we go unlimited mock interviews. If you go probably close to $1,000, and in fact way more than that if you do unlimited ones. Okay. So we do all the job clinic. You will see other people's mock interviews. You see now bottom, you will see all the mock interviews, and I run on a weekly basis or depending on when people need it. Job clinics, we can ask and bring your questions. We do those as well. So resume and job prep clinics that we run. We also have a big community now, and we are going something by name Cloud School, and some of you guys are already part of that. So you'll be meeting other peers, what they're doing, and that community access itself for a year is around more than $1,000. So that brings the value of $15,000 as well. Now, this is premium. On-job support is when you say it will help you in ton of money. You might already be working, and all it can do is save your job or help you in moving that promotion. So this job, which is probably, as I said, is priceless, $2,000 online on-job support. On whatever you're doing on the job related to AI and machine learning and on Azure cloud, you'll be covered for there. So it's unlimited, priceless as well. Now, as I said, start as well. We're going to also give you machine learning deployment on Azure, Docker, and Kubernetes. So you're doing there are tons and tons of jobs in Kubernetes on Kubernetes on Azure, which is on US, UK, whatever country you're from. Just type Kubernetes jobs. And machine learning, if you say I'm machine learning, I also know Kubernetes deployment. Scream, it's like top. So we're going to cover all these things in a program. We do a separate program. We'll be giving you that, but it's only for first 10 guys. First come, first serve. If you go to the market, probably around $2,500. We give you absolutely free as a part of this. So that brings value close to $20,000. We'll be getting and learning this Kubernetes deployment as well. And so, as I said, it's way more than $20,000. And I said, I'm not going to charge you $20,000. But every pence I say here, I mean it, because it will bring more than $20,000, in excess of $20,000. So I said, I'm not going to charge you $20,000, but imagine for a minute if I did. Imagine for a minute I did $20,000 charge, and all I did was that it can help you in earning an extra probably $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, easy. And if you're not getting an extra $30,000 to $40,000, euros, pounds if you're in European countries or Western country. If you're not doing that, maybe you're not either not learning properly or not negotiating well. Or if in India, extra 15, 20, 30 lakhs, if you're not doing extra that much, then you're doing something, if you're in India or on Asian countries, according to that much amount. It'll help you to do that. And if you get that just in 1 year, imagine, and the next year, would it be worth? Imagine for a minute. Or let's suppose it gives you, because for me, it was never money. Money was growing good enough, but I wanted the freedom to work on my terms and conditions, work from home. In fact, it gave me an opportunity to build my own company because I was so much free. I was working remotely and no travel. I got tons of time, built my own company. And we do a lot of implementations. This training is my passion project. I love that. I love when people see the result. And that drives me a lot now. Helps you getting a remote job. Or maybe, let's suppose you're being about to get fired. A lot of guys come as being made redundant or about to make redundant or being losing their jobs left, right, and center. And all it helps you is retaining in that job, or don't risk losing the job. Will it be worth? Put in the chat window, is it worth? Do you think it is worth as well? And saying as well. Yes. So yes, it's expensive. As I said, I'm not going to charge 20,000, but if I did. So what I was thinking is I had two choices. I could do, thanks, Naveen, let me know what your question is. Okay, so I had two choices to make it go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many copies as I could, but it wouldn't incentivize me to give you a result. And then probably all I'm doing is just selling something cheap, and you're not getting a result. I'm not incentivized enough to give you a result. Or I could slightly higher charge what market is doing, or maybe compete with them for the best ones, but provide you all the value, a little bit higher investment, but in exchange, I can devote more resources that help in guaranteeing your result and success that you need. And I always believe in becoming best, learning from best, being with best, and I spend a lot of money myself. So I'll go with second option, which is this. And that's what I'm saying is you can earn a lot of money from this. So as I said, tons and tons of money. I'm not going to repeat it, but this is what you can imagine you can earn as well. And I don't know what your desire was, why you want to do this. And as I said, it's value more than $20,000. But as I said, is with us, you invest is very, very nominal competitive price, just $3,000. Very highly competitive price, $3,000, or you can go for 4 monthly payment of $897. Now, I said k2academy.com/Azure AI ML, and that's the price we keep, and we keep it. But because we have showed here, now today here, and for the first 10 guys, for limited guys, we're limiting it to not 25. First 10 guys is first come first serve. Is we have is today investment is just $1,997, $2,000. Everything that I've promised, right from all the basics, everything that you see is just $2,000. Very highly competitive for two reasons. First is I want to make it the best program. When people know, for me now, it's much bigger than, of course, you will get result, but you'll get tons and tons of value out of it as well. So if you can afford one single payment, go for single payment of $2,000, which is $1,997 or 4 monthly payment of $597. URL is below screen, k2academy.com/Azure AI ML. I'll be taking up questions, and tons of questions might be coming. Which is saying how many hours a day and how many days time should be invested. Okay. Brilliant question. Okay, Vish. So first of all, when you come on board, we're going to sit with you because every person is different. There'll be onboarding session will happen, and we ask one and only one thing: what is your objective, and how quickly you want to achieve that objective. And based on that, we'll customize the plan for you and say you should be spending this. Ideally, you should be spending 1 or 2 hours every day, and then maybe 3 to 4 hours of the weekend. So total that much amount time to get an optimal result. If you have to do it quicker, you spend more time. If you do less, you do less. And that's why I built a program that, because at every point in time in life, every phase, I wanted different things. So I changed this. This is all coming from my own desire of what I would have expected. So we've done that. I hope that answers your question, Vish. And how many hours and days. So you learn what is your pace, how quickly you want, how hungry you are. We're going to run it at that pace, and we'll give you everything that you need on that. Okay, makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Shri Prashad, my team will tell you about the course starting. We run multiple batches, multiple times, so on multiple schedules as well. Full day, Hima, we don't do. Someone is saying you do your program full day. You can attend, you can go through and go to attend. Why we don't do? I don't do full days. Your mind will fuse and you'll have too much to learn. I rather do it, learn a topic, implement it, and then move to the next point. Learn, implement, do the next one. If you to learn full day, that's totally you can do. We have a live session recording, so you can go, it's 3 hours each, roughly live session recording. You can attend or you can sit down and you can ask question. I have a team who will be helping you in the job on WhatsApp group, WhatsApp community, or by end of day, you can say, I have these questions. We can have a kind of a daily question answer sessions kind of a thing. We can ask questions as well. Okay, I hope that makes sense, Hema. But if you want result quickly, you just come and speak to my team. We'll tell you how you can learn as well. Mamad is saying if you want to learn 497, 4 into 597, what is the deadline? I can't promise it, as this is first come, first serve, and I don't know how long it be. My marketing team decides. If I had a desire, I would have never gone in less than $20,000 because I spent more than $20,000. It's my marketing team dictates, and we might close it in next couple of hours, next 1 hour, next 2 hours. I don't know to promise. I don't have a control on that part. But as I said, if I had a desire, I would never have gone that price on $597. Trust me. But my team keeps me accountable, check, and they said, you promised. My vision is to have 1 million guys who are successful in this program. Okay, 1 million is a big ask, big. I've set the team and they said, okay, fine, you need to give something highly competitive as well. So I don't want to promise you something which I can't retain. Okay, so just wanted to be careful with that. Are the trainings live? Absolutely, Amit. Trainings are all live, but you also have the recording. You'll also have the you also will have the replays and all those things as well, and you will all the previous batches as well. So you'll have live, but also self-study, both of them. I'm trying to learn both of them. Any other question that's coming? So the question courses have live instructor to give notes. Yes, both of them, or give notes. Yeah, both wish. So live instructors, notes, and then also self-study, all of them. So again, as I said, it's you tell me what you have. There's a 99% chance is already being covered because I've gone through. I'm learning since 2005. The minute I started contracting, every 6 months I have to learn to become best in what I'm doing because I charge premium amount. That's how I increased my rate from 450 to 425 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 1500. No one gives 1500 to anyone like that. Okay, they have to believe in you. Okay, so everything that you have learned is coming and included into the program. Okay. Yes, Ankita, I've already mentioned. Okay. Thank you. I'm asking because I'll receive payment at the end of the week. No, so unfortunately, I can't promise that, Mamadi. So unfortunately, I won't be able to promise or stick. Yeah, so one thing is, yeah, so Eugene is asking the right question. Do we pay for certification separately? Yes, certification is with Microsoft Azure. Certification price fees is not included in it. You pay certification separately. Eugene, again, if objective and get a job, you even don't need a certification, believe me. And I have people proving that thing. Do it, maybe do it just to show off, maybe do something very basic and go for hands-on labs, Eugene. Okay. I think great. Okay, Vish, so how many weeks should we want to prepare for myself? So Vish, I need to connect. So once you come on board, you tell me how much time do you have, and we'll give you and what do you want to achieve, what is your current salary, how much you want to do. That's what will happen in onboarding team. Within next 70 hours, you'll get a book a call. You will see, you will have immediate access to everything, but you'll booking a call, and that's where we'll sit down and say how much you want to earn quickly and how long you have time. And based on that, we'll give you a plan and they can work on that plan and we'll be helping and supporting. Brilliant. Let's move on now, guys. As I said, this is when you go to this page, kitronacademy.com/Azure AI ML. You go a page like this, scroll down the middle, you'll see something like this. You pick up, and depending on if you can afford, I would highly recommend to go for single payment. For reason is you are getting, both are same. It's just you're spending slightly less because you're going in one payment. Here, if you can't afford in one single payment, you break into 597.4. Same thing, you're just buying yourself a little bit more time because not everyone has 700 or 800 in their pocket. And if not, you should definitely be coming because how to make more money with doing the same or less. That's what I've achieved. And I always say, how can go 1% improvement? So click on one of the enroll now button. When you do that, accordingly, you'll go to a page like this and you will be selecting either Visa, MasterCard, American Express, debit or credit, both will work, or you can use PayPal. Enter your card details. The discount coupon should already be applied. If discount coupon is not applied, that means bonus, the offer is gone now, $1,000 offer is gone now. Okay, you click on I agree to terms and conditions and then click on register now button here. Same thing is with the here, if you're going for installment option, same Visa, debit, credit, PayPal, American Express, you enter details, you paying $597 now, and then another 597 after 30 days, after 30 days, after 30 days, automatically, and that's it pretty much. And then you say, I agree to terms and conditions, register now. And when you do that, you'll go on a landing page, thank you page, listen to that video, but don't worry if you miss that. We'll send you within few minutes, you'll have a step-by-step instructions on, you're going to get 2 emails. One on explaining everything, and second is how to log into the portal and access it. If you miss anything happens, don't worry. Within 72 hours, my team will give you a call, onboard you, understand. We say something called activation point. What is your desire for this program? What is the objective of this program? And based on that and how quickly you want, we'll set you some plan and some key points, activation points, and then it will measure you, make yourself accountable, make us accountable. And that's the kind of things we're going to get. So WhatsApp community, which I mentioned, all those things which I mentioned, support, everything will be in that email as well. So everything I mentioned is 4 monthly payment of 597 or 1 single payment of 1997. I'll take 1 more minute and to question, and a big congratulations for any one of those who have paid. I'm going to look and I'll probably name it. So big congratulations, Raju, welcome and to the program. Thank you very much. Luke, welcome to the program. Thanks, Richa, Anthony. Thank you very much. And there's one more, I forgot, Debs. No, it can't be Debs, Devashish, no. No. Welcome to the program. Selena, welcome to the program. Thanks, guys. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to pick up a few more things and then I'll move on to the next one. Hema saying, do we need any programming coding experience? I don't have Hema. If you want to learn, by all means. I hate programming. I don't know. But then I can, if you don't like to do coding programming, come and speak to me. We'll do without coding and programming. I'll tell you the jobs, what kind of jobs you should be applying. And there's something called operations guy, AI, machine learning, generative AI, but not coding side. So answer is no, you don't need a coding and programming experience. We'll cover, because I don't like coding programming. I've done that. I'm implementing it. Tons and tons of guys, other guys are doing those as well. Okay. So thank you very much. Any other question you have, let me know. Again, no, again, Izar, you're doing a wrong answer. It's not 8 to 12. As long as you need to get a result. Some people, depending on, because we have a lot of programs, a lot of things, it depends now on your path. We give you, you're with us 1 year. So 1 year with us, you do quicker, you do quicker, you do. I think each of these different topics will come, different phases will come. Sometime, depending on the questions, quality of questions, we get go quicker or faster or shorter and quicker, because ultimate aim is for you to get results. So all you need to should be asking is, what result I'm going to get, how quickly I'm going to get result, and then based on that, we'll chalk out the plan for you. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, result. No, we don't give certificate. What we give is the value. So we don't issue any certificate, Anish, on the event. What we give you is, for staying here, is a interview question answers or the job preparation sessions. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so as I said, this is for first 10 guys, Kubernetes on job 2,500. I think 4 or 5 seats are already gone, and will be few more after that. Kubernetes on Azure will also be gone as well. So ketonacademy.com/Azure AI ML. I know I have tons of questions are coming. My team is here, but they get very, very busy. So say I have a question and pick up, so my team can answer while I'll cover a few other things as well. Everything that I've mentioned is coming from a 60 days money back guarantee. I'll tell you as well, but there's work required from your side. Don't come thinking I'll try out and see if it doesn't work. There's a work required. You won't get a result in anything you do unless you spend, you give your 100%. That's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well. This was the first option which I mentioned about job oriented, which I've everything mentioned. But then second is about certificate. You can simply go, and a lot of guys want to go for certification. That's also fine. You can pick up in the middle, which is certification. And if you want just certification, in the program, you're going to learn this as a part of that. Okay, so you can go on. You've already paid for the certification preparation kit, so you don't need to worry about all the exam questions. Everything is covered for those who have already paid in this program. Okay, now, but some guys already want to go for data scientist or Azure engineer. Go for we have Azure AI on $397. We have offer going on right now. AI 102 Azure engineer, we do it $997. You go for just certification, but it's only for certification. No job prep, no interview, no mock. Not those, just a certification. And the same for data engineers as well, data architects. Okay, but all this which I've covered is covered in the job already, so you're covered. You don't need to buy anything separately. If you want to go there, ketonacademy.com/AI ML cert. Now, a lot of guys, I come and say, oh, I've done the certification, now I'm not getting a job, and they are not in the program. So I want to tell you very frankly and transparently, alone certification will not get a job. And if you're coming from thinking I'll do a certification with these guys and get a job separately on my own, try out, but don't quote me for that. And better not do the certification program with me I'll be transferred, because I don't want any bad reputation on the program, because I provide a lot of effort, I put a lot of effort, a lot of result, but then expect the same thing as well. So if it come on the certification just with the pure intention of certification, come with a job in program with a job in program intention. I hope that makes sense. You can buy some bundle as well. If you can buy all three in just $1297, just a certification as well. Again, you do the same thing or as well. You click on the button. URL is, I think, k2academy.com/AI/ML cert. And there we are going to not just Azure AI/ML, but also AWS AI/ML. You can pick up those as well. So go to this URL. You can look at certification. Click on appropriate certification. If you go for bundle, you can go. You can go for separate as well. You can go for installment as well. It'll give you the options. You can select that options: Visa, credit, debit, same card, PayPal. I agree to terms and conditions. Click on register now as well. Now, same thing will happen. You'll get an email, but only for that particular certification only. Okay, that's option number 2. So this is 1997 only for while we are here, or limited time, as at first 10 or whatever time my offer is going for. So the URL for this is k2academy.com/Azure AI/ML 1997 $2,000. You can go for individual certification, $397 for fundamentals, and then you have AI and ML for $697 each. k2academy.com/AI/ML cert. And then third option is this generative AI. Some of you guys want to start small. Again, this is how to develop and build AI applications. Again, for job, probably go for AI. This is all about this, just generative AI. Those who want to start small. Okay, so you do everything that mentioned on developing and managing generative AI. All the 7 modules plus an additional bonus module about LangChain. All the hands-on lab, and these are 30+ hands-on lab on generative AI program itself as well. Okay, and then again it said is, if you go to the market, $750, in excess of $750, and we have pretty much same. But that's important thing is just 1 day, and then it requires Python. If there's any Python or Azure, they don't cover that. We cover that, Python or Azure as well. So, so if you go pretty much, okay. So in Europe, probably $1,000 as well. You'll go on 1 day program as well. So with us, you just pay $597, one single payment of $597. I think there might be, otherwise you'll go for later $700, $750 as well. So that's pretty much offer I have. There are a lot of questions might be coming. Big congratulations. A lot of other guys, few other guys have joined. Brendan, thank you very much for the program as well and for joining here. Thank you. Any questions that guys are coming, my team will be there, or if you reach out to them on, let me question. Naveen is saying, this Azure data scientist course included AI ML, but it's prerequisite like mathematics, differential. Okay, so that we are going to cover as a bonus. We are not covering that live in statistics, calculation, but then we'll have a program separate where we cover all the mathematics. You can learn that again. But on the job, when you're doing any certification, we're preparing for the job. And if you need a reference of statistics or mathematics or other things, we'll cover you. What we don't want is to make it a 2 years, 3 years program and you become bored and focus on wrong things. Focus on what's required for the job, Naveen. Okay, I hope you understand my point, what I'm saying. Yeah, so we'll give you enough, but always keep an eye on what is the main end objective. How can I get it quickly without compromising the quality? Become good in what I'm doing. And underlying underpins will need it. We'll cover that when we need it, that point. I mean, that's the structure I want to do. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Brilliant. Okay, brilliant. So let's move on and say, a lot of guys come and say, hey, what if it doesn't work? And it's very fair question. What if it doesn't work? And anyone have those doubts and say, what if it doesn't work? Put in the chat window. And in spite of telling all this, that comes because I had a lot of reservations when I was learning. I spent a lot of money, time. So is that post on generative AI, k2academy.com for Azure AI ML. That's the program you should be focusing on. k2academy.com/Azure AI ML. Yeah. So what if it doesn't work? And I totally understand that. But imagine for a minute if it does. Just for a minute it does. And you've spent all the time, energy, and it works. How will it change your life? Will it help you an extra $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, euros, pounds? If it doesn't, come and speak to me, make me accountable. And look, this is what you said. What happened to that? And I'm going to make you accountable and look, this is what you need to do. If you've done those things, I can guarantee. And that's why I've covered everything by 100% money back guarantee. Is there's a work required as long as you do the hands-on lab. Apply for at least 50 jobs because of course you have to attempt and get, if you're not getting interview calls, get your CV resume reviewed by me. If you've done the hands-on lab, and if you're struggling on doing any hands-on lab, even I'm not going to ask you all the hands-on labs. In fact, if those who need quicker, at least I know too much. You don't even need 80. Applying for a job, on that job, whatever hands-on lab will give you and tell you this job requires these many hands-on lab, perform them. If you're done applying for the interviews, don't get a result, all you do is we can track and we can check everything. All you show it is I've applied, didn't get a result. I don't deserve your money. That's why everything we mentioned is 6 days money back guarantee that we cover. So it's all crystal clear. But again, I repeat, a lot of guys come later and say, oh, I'm not ready right now. I'll come back. Don't join the program. Rather than accepting, I reject a lot these days because I want to make sure that those who come, they come, we learn, we grow together, because that's the kind of individuals I want in the program. So who are really serious about it. So come with you're really serious about it. So 50 job, you apply and you'll get a result for sure. So the program is this, URL should be below screen. As I said, is if you really want a job, focus on the last one part as well. So this is all you get is not $3,000. Right now it's going $2,000 or 4 monthly payment of $597 each as well. Kubernetes on Azure will be bonus. Immediately you should get it and come and say as well. So Gulam, we don't issue the certificate for attendance. What we issue is that we issue a interview question or the certification exam questions 50. Attendance won't mean anything, Gulam. I will be transparent with you. You can take a lot of attendance certification. It's waste if you can't talk about it. So don't focus on wrong things, Gulam, and everyone who's just saying, oh, I've attended this webinar, can I get a certificate? Waste. Okay, focus should be your learning, because that certificate will not mean anything if you can't answer the interview questions. It's waste, you're wasting your time and everyone's time, or the interviewer's time as well. Okay, now you might be saying it's expensive. Anyone who says it's expensive, it's not, I'll close it, will not do, spend time. I've shown you the value. Anyone thinks expensive. Now, in the seriousness of time, I don't think anyone thinks because it's a value well spent as well. I'll move on, but I'll quickly tell you what key step is on here point. I was learning, I was spending a lot of time onto this. I'm not going to cover my story here, and I'm going to cover as these 2 points. I've spent a lot of money on this point after 10 months of thinking. And this point, I didn't think, but I spent a lot of money. Every time I spend money, I get tons and tons of money back as well. So this is my story is, as I was talking about is, in 2005, I spent 5 or 10, almost 10 months. Give me 1 minute. Let me tell you 1 second. So I spent almost 10 months thinking about, oh, I should do this program. 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 Oh, no, I can do it on my own. I can do it on my own. And I was coming from India. My salary was $2,400. I can't do it. I can't do it. 1 month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed. Eventually, I did it in October. In spite, I was very nervous in spite of doing it. And then finally, I got a job, a contract job. But then every month, I could have earned 7,000 pounds extra. So in 2005 or next year, I was reflecting in that year, 10,000, 70,000 I lost. Every month, I've earned extra 7,000 easily. So a lot of times we don't look at opportunity cost. How much is costing me for not doing it? And we focus on wrong things. So important is focus on right things, guys. Very, very important. Am I making sense? Are you still with me? Put in the chat window, are you still with me? Am I making sense? Are you still with me? Put in the chat window, are you still with me? Yes. No? We can close the call now. Yes. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So as Elon Musk said as well, it's easy to make $1,000, but very difficult to save $1,000. A lot of times we spend time on how can I save money, not saying, well, if I spend one, am I going to get 10 times of this investment, yes or no? So I only look at now how much more I will earn after learning this. Or if I don't learn, how much money I'm going to lose if I don't do it. So that's what James said is custom curated program. This is again Trustpilot, the custom curated job entry program. Those who want zero compromise, you cannot go wrong with this program. Super grateful for them that I found them. Same thing is again, I can go on and on. Naman, K2 Academy knows the value of the money. Every penny we invest in and does job justice. Another one, Sajid, again. These are guys, Trustpilot. Overall, I'm happy with the invest in myself. The dividends will pay for itself in no time. So don't hesitate to invest in yourself with the help of great team. Gargi, India, and she was a couple of years said, oh, it's expensive and spent. And I said, believe in me, have a faith on me, I'll have 100% money back guarantee. But you have to do the work. And now this is exactly what she has to say. I had a strong reservation regarding the price, took a leap of faith, found that course was way more than being charged. Looking back, I wonder why I didn't take the decision. In fact, now she recommends pretty much every left, right, center. And she has recommended so many guys to us now on this one. So URL is kidnacademy.com for Azure AI ML. I said, how much? Now, still find it expensive? Think how much money you can earn. But you have to invest in yourself. You have to become good. And companies don't pay or just, I learn for, you give me a job and then I learn. No, it's other way. You learn and prove them that you're capable of this. Then they will hire you to any money. In fact, on second job, third itself as well, if you make them dependent on you, they're ready to pay any amount of money as well. So that is how much extra you can make. Unimaginable. This is just a beginning as well. Now, a lot of guys might come and say, hey, I don't have time. In fact, we all have same time. In fact, that's what I was thinking back in 2011, 12. Just prior to that, I was earning pretty good money. So now I don't have time. I was spending time 9 to 5. I was doing pretty much hardly anything. I was implementing things, but before 9 o'clock, after 5 o'clock, I was not doing anything. I was shutting my laptop closed and say nothing. And then suddenly, everything was moving towards cloud. Everything was moving towards DevOps. I was shocked. And then on next contract, I found really, really difficult, not easy. And then I realized, I have to find time. Started learning again, same thing. I found time. In fact, I flew from UK to US. I was working with Oracle on Oracle products, Oracle technologies. Oracle Cloud was crap at the time, but I could sense that I already have Oracle skill. I can get a job in Oracle Cloud on jobs roles. I flew from UK to US learning, spent a lot of money, left my contract for a week. And then after a few weeks, jump. Same thing that I did on multi-cloud. Same thing I'm doing in generative AI. So if you don't have a time to find out where the time is going, Shailesh, very senior. A lot of guys who are senior, busy. If you can't find a time, no one have time. We all have 24 hours. You have to find time out. And if you're spending time and not earning good, where's the time going? So make sure it's important that you do that as well. Now, another thing comes is I can do on my own. Yes, you can do on your own. If it's working, good. And if it's working, by all means, do that. But it didn't work for me. And trust me, you can go from Udemy. Yes. But average student only spend or do 30% content. It's Udemy's definition. And average 70% student never even start the course. And when I tell them, yes, as I said, it's complicated, confusing, stressful, no accountability. I've done all this. How I know? I'll get hundreds of guys every month telling me the same story. Again, this is another one. We discussed a lot of these things in our group. And after joining this discussion group, I'm so much very convinced that I'm very right path. I have a lot of courses, a ton of courses in Udemy, but I haven't started yet. Yen, a lot of guys are IT. How many are beginners? And let me see, and the beginner or experience, just type BEG, big, or beginner, B or E. B for beginner, E for experience. Put in the chat window, B or E. E, experience, wish, good. E, a lot of guys experience, then I can skip. There are any beginners here? And if you're beginner, yes, more tutorial. If you're experienced, if you're beginner, if you're experienced, then are you learning, extending that knowledge onto the next one as well? If you're a beginner, then I had a lot of hesitation and doubt because IT was new for me. But just an introductory class amazed me. Understand that because they explain things in such a way, no guys can understand. If you look at my module 1 and module 2 or Cloud for beginners, Azure for beginners, you'll say, wow, it's a cakewalk. I've learned everything in one day more than what I've done in 6 months or so. So I'm getting more like IT as well. Again, as I said, tons and tons of guys. Salim, best experienced teachers. They're the best, very well for beginners. Another one, Oksana. And these are guys on test pilot. It's not like me telling the guys from US, Canada, US again. So this is great program, provide great program, support every stage. Definitely get a message like that. You will definitely get a job. Excellent communication, very professional. Another one here, Honey John. I think John was here last time. I'm not sure he's still here, US. Very skeptical about paying for the course. I understand if you're new. Someone like me who decided to change the career at her footies. An entirely different domain, scary. But the brighter side is if I pay X amount, I have a confidence, I have a bigger ROI, return on investment. But just believe in yourself and go for it. Tons and tons of, I can go on and on. I've already mentioned about Shovik. I've already mentioned Obena, Oksana, Vivek, Nikhil. I've done my final interview with Coffee. Oh, sorry, not Nikhil, Omar. Omar is from UK. And again, it took me almost 10 months. And again, I said, I've learned a lot on these things now, but we can shorten. But then when I said this message, because I was working very closely and he was not getting results and I was struggling as well. Why is not getting, I realized what the mistake he was doing. So when the minute we realized, I said, oh, Omar, we need to change our strategy here. And that's the message I got. I've done my final interview with Coffee. As I was walking from an interview, the hiring manager offered me a job. It's been a hard 10 months for me, but least to say, I've looked forward for sessions provided. I will honestly be even looking at other course in Keaton Academy. He's from AWS. I hope you understand this as well. So there's no interview question. Sorry, there's no coding. Yes, it will help, but not mandatory. A lot of guys ask as well. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll wrap it up this session. We've extended way more than I initially anticipated. It's not the strongest or the most intelligent survive. Is the one who best adapt changes. And so that's I always change and update myself as well. I keep learning. Big congratulations, dear M. What is dear M? Okay. Thank you very much for believing in this, dear M, okay, for this program. AWS, okay, Deluxe, Vivaldi. Thank you very much. I think I'm not sure. Okay. So as I said, on one side there are a lot of layoffs are happening. In January alone, 100,000 jobs were lost alone in that. On the other side, companies are hiring for what? Tons and tons of jobs, good paying jobs, 40%. They're struggling to find the guys, good guys. The difficulty in finding AI machine learning specialist roles. So yes, they are firing, but because they are hiring on these roles, and that's what you should be focusing on: cloud, data, machine learning, DevOps, data ops, ML ops. These are kind of roles you should be working and employing as well. So I just want to know which side you are. Type L or R. Put the chat window and type L or R. Or on left side, feeling stuck, not feeling challenged, or on not increasing. Put the chat window and say, are you still with me? Left or right? Let's see which side you are, left or right. Put in the chat window and say, I want to see, are you still with me? Are you on left side? Are you right hand side? What's your side? Getting bored? Feel free to leave. I'm going to get it right. Absolutely, Raghav. Thank you. Success, result, they come because you have to work for that as well. So not by just saying, but actually implementing those things as well. And those who implement good get clarity. Those who action takers take action. So just 10 years, both cameraman and pilot were replaced. Are you working on skills that are outdated or will not take you the next level? Are you being easily replaceable? That's why saying ChatGPT, AI, generative AI, huge prospects. You should be focusing on them as well. So 3 options. We'll wrap it up now. KeatonAcademy.com for Azure AI ML, Azure ML Cert, and Azure Gen AI. These are the URLs. Come and speak to my team as well. Now, bonus that we mentioned is only for short period of time. Another question people say is, oh, I'm already part of your other program. I want to retain this. So if you want to this offer, you can lock the price and you can start your journey a little bit later, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months later. That's totally fine. So you can register now, and then you can begin and tell them that, hey, you'll be starting recording later. Okay. You'll be starting later. Okay. Any questions, guys? And otherwise, I'll be unmuting yourself, and then I'll mute and we'll take the questions rounds as well. I hope your time is well spent. Yes, there is a marketing. Yes, there is we do sell as well, because that's what will take you to the next level. Free programs are good and to get an idea about, to get a sense of. And if you don't want, that's totally fine. But then actual result comes by implementing these things as well. That's why I sell, because then there's a commitment from your side. There's a seriousness from your side as well. But big thank you, big congratulations for those who've joined. As I said, is thank you very much, dear M. There's another one which is another Raju. There's another one which is, as I said, is I think Rangraju same. Okay, Brendan, on Luke, Anthony, Varsha. Thank you very much for Varsha for preparing this. Rumi, welcome to the program, guys. Everyone, thank you very much. Okay, any questions, guys? Anyone? Any questions you want me to take? And let's unmute and let me. By the way, thank you very much for giving us. Let me start. Where's my screen gone? Okay, guys, my team. Do you have any questions for me? So I'm going to pick up from here. I think this is 2 screens. Or should we wrap it up? Any questions for me, my team? Utsav, Prasad, Izhar, Sahid. Or should we wrap it up? I think we're already done a lot.
Sir, there is a question from Hema.
Yeah.
Do we need to have any coding or programming experience?
Great. Okay. I think thank you very much for Hema. As I said earlier as well, no. So you don't need any coding. Look, it's good to have, but if you don't have, as I said, I don't know coding and programming and I struggle a lot. So you should be able to get away with that. I'll teach you how to do it, get away with coding and programming. In fact, but if you want to learn, we'll teach. So there are in machine learning, there's some code, some labs will be doing machine learning, but we'll explain you what each of these. So let's suppose we are running Jupyter Notebook. What is Jupyter Notebook? You'll be covering all the basics. We're importing some libraries. What does each of means? And if you don't want to do it, that's totally fine. You can still get a job without coding or programming knowledge as well. Thanks. Anyone else? Anything else? No? My team has been taken care? Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
sir. I hope all the questions are covered by you during the session.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Again, if you still have any questions, don't worry about it. k2academy.com/WhatsApp. The URL is k2academy.com/WhatsApp. You can ring out to them, but they're pretty busy, so give them some time if they're not responding. So k2academy.com/WhatsApp. And then Kubernetes bonus is gone now. The Kubernetes is not available now. But big congratulations for all those who win the program, and thank you very much for giving me opportunity. And all of you, keep an eye on email about the gift that you're going to get it for being with us. Interview question or cert, I think most probably looking at that cert as well. So cert will be talking about. Shri Prasad, connect with my team. Team will help you, Kadam. My team will be scheduled. Again, we have multiple batches, multiple teams. In fact, on this weekend, we'll be having bringing someone talk about, as I said, more advanced AI machine learning things and topics as well. With that, thank you very, very much for guys, and thanks my team for being a support, and thanks for any technical glitches. You hit any problems, audio, video issues. Apologies for that, but thank you for rating us 5-star. Brilliant work. Take care, guys. Those who are here, just give me 5-star. Are you still believe 5-star? Do you think? And any changes, anything, any suggestions? Would love to know more about that as well. I still see a lot of guys are here. So let me know. Clinton, Divya, Arnold, Harish, Hema, Ivan, JW, Jason, Jairam, Mamadi, Todihal, Islam, Naveen, Nilesh, because I always trying to do better, and we could do 5-5. Thank you very much, Raghav. Thank you, means a lot. Seriously, means a lot, means a lot, means a lot, and made my day. Again, now means a lot. Thank you very much, Hema, Krishna, Anas. Thank you, everyone. Todihal. Take care, guys, and have fun. Keep an eye on inbox. We'll send you the email, and also you'll get an instructions on step-by-step create free account in Azure, and then create an OpenAI. Just play with that. Have fun. You spend your time 2-3 hours with me. Make sure you better use that and by implementing something. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Our tool will not lie. It will not ask you to lie on your resume. And the program is also well designed and